typically I don't regret it. It usually stimulates some type of conversation or a topic for the show, so I'm on board with it. But I was on KBN yesterday, and they're asking me, wouldn't it make sense to trade Aaron Jones this year? And then I see, obviously, Robinson. What's Robinson's first name? James. Is it
James Robinson.
How do we not know this
You guys got me all thrown off with all this Robinson stuff. And so, maybe that means Aaron Jones. Can anyone explain to me what benefit the Green Bay Packers would get by trading Aaron Jones?
They get like a third or fourth round pick.
Maybe.
I mean, he's missed 3 of the possible 4 games.
Is there a cap space deal?
No. They got plenty of cap space. That's not the issue.
The whole thing, I just was kind of dumbfounded, and I see a little bit more of it, and so typically it's like, whatever. That's just, that's KBN being KBN, and Brusty is kind of pushing it.
Uh-huh.
But it makes no sense because, as we've said all year, we don't think this team's a Super Bowl contender. I think it's a borderline playoff team. You don't. And to look at it, the whole thing is to evaluate Jordan Love. Why would you not want your best player to help Jordan Love in that evaluation process? So can we just stop? Maybe I'm crazy. I heard Adam Schefter on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning. It doesn't sound like he was kind of almost like dumbfounded. Like, what the hell are you guys talking about? What do you mean trade Aaron Jones? Who?
They asked his. They asked him about that,
and Jesse's got the audio clip of it. We'll try to play it sometime during the show. I think it was more of a, is this something, because you're looking at buying and selling at this time of year. You got, 2 weeks before the trade deadline kind of kicks in? Yeah, so it's 2 weeks, same as the Pella deal. I don't get where, unless somebody is like, we need Aaron Jones and we want to give you a first or second round pick. And even then, I think as Packer, you got to really think. I think if somebody offers the Green Bay Packers a first-round pick for Aaron Jones, you take it and run with it.
Nobody is doing that.
That's not going to happen. Right. I agree.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to – this is how my mind works. How do I get myself in a situation where I'm like, how would any of this make sense? Keyshawn Nixon to me would make sense. I would be okay with Keyshawn Nixon being traded for a third, fourth-round pick. I would be because I like Jaden Reed. I think he can come in and do what Keyshawn is doing.
Okay.
And you don't know if you're going to – if you really wanted Keyshawn Nixon, you would not have signed him to a one-year deal. You would have probably brought him in for a little bit longer. So I just want someone to explain to me why trading Aaron Jones would be a good idea.
All right. So a couple of things, and I don't want to start a fight. But did you just call them now a borderline playoff team? Because that borderline does feel like a adjustment to your position – which had been that they were a playoff team. After they beat the Bears, they were going to be a playoff team.
It's still borderline. I said they'd be on the 8-9 win deal, and it would be right there. And beating the Bears, I said they'd be a playoff team. I still believe they will be. But to sit here and say that after losing to the Raiders that
I
had that one as one of the wins.
You've tweaked your position slightly because of the way things have gone.
I still think they're borderline. It could be. They're not going to be as bad as I think people thought. They're going to be in that 8-9 win category. That's what I think. Secondly,
I understand James Robinson as an undrafted rookie out of Illinois State, one of the Illinois schools, not Bradley, was a 1,000-yard rusher. He also had 40 receptions that season. Okay, that was 2020, which, as you know, as you have taught us many, many times, using Eddie Lacy as the rummage sale actor that tells us this, the league comes at you fast. He ruptured his Achilles in 2021. He did not undergo the same surgery that Aaron Rodgers did. He had the traditional repair. He has bounced around since. He was with 2 different teams this offseason. Signing a guy who had a 1,000-yard season for the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2020 does not – 2-year practice squad, by the way. I mean, I know that's an intermediate step, but still, 2-year practice squad. Sure. That is not a precursor to saying, once Aaron Jones is healthy, we can trade him. We have James Robinson now. So I understand that is a name that people recognize. I'm guessing that people during their fantasy football season of 2020 picked him up off the waiver wire and really got a great return on him and remember him. But I don't think he's going to come in and be this panacea for your running game. And finally, Aaron Jones has got to be healthy to do anything. Whether it's to play for the Packers or to be dealt, I do not envision a scenario where they trade Aaron Jones. Like, he's their one proven commodity, and we are all sitting there talking about how they'd be 4-1 if he was playing, and they don't have anyone else with experience in their skill position group that they can believe is a field-tilting player. They are not in hyper-tank mode like the Denver Broncos, who are cutting or trading all their good pass rushers, and now are looking to move on to trading or cutting all their best wide receivers. They are looking to tank. The Packers are not. So none of these things make a whole lot of sense. Other than the fact that unless they're nervous, Tausch, that even after the bye, Aaron Jones still isn't going to be ready. He did take part in practice on Monday, but then they signed James Robinson yesterday. So was there something after practice?
Well, yeah, but the old boy left, right? His practice squad eligibility was up, and he's no longer with the team. So there's a natural spot.
No,
for a
Patrick
tailback,
Taylor
right?
is. I thought he was back on the practice squad. Let me double check that. They brought back Justin Hollins back to the 53 after that switcheroo they did for game day. So, look, they have Emmanuel Wilson, who I know people were very excited about during the preseason, but clearly they want someone who's played in the league to be an alternative to both Aaron Jones and, frankly, to A.J. Dillon, who still has not kind of found his footing.
All right, so we can agree it's just foolish talk to think that the Packers would trade Aaron Jones.
I mean, I don't want to. I'm always leery of saying that and then looking like the idiot myself, because then suddenly he gets dealt. But dare I say, like on the media bus to Super Bowl 32, I don't see any way the Packers trade this guy.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, good.
I'll join that club.
Now, can I get my small piece of advice before you tell us about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin?
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm doing laundry, and I come across a vest that I haven't worn. It's a little bulky, though, and I know you are a connoisseur of the vest. You've got your Pella vest. You've got your Tito's vest. You've got Badgers vests. I think there's a Wilde and Tausch vest.
There is.
There are varying ply, like toilet paper, right? Some are thicker than others. What do I wear other than for driving down without wearing pants and wearing mesh shorts to a distant place? What do I wear a vest for? And, like, can I wear it to a basketball practice? Or am I going to get hot because it's heavy when I'm indoors? Do I have to wear it to the pumpkin patch? What are optimal vest-wearing opportunities? Because I am not a vest guy, but I kind of think I want to become one.
Vest guys are fun, and I think the big thing to do is golf. Fall golf is what vests were made for. No, I think, well, you're trying to get better. Your kids are golfing. So
I am.
pumpkin patches are obviously incredible for vests. I think the vest gets put away too soon. I think most people look at vests as early spring and fall. I think vests should go all the way through winter. I think the vest is, you wear a long sleeve shirt with vest and it's 35 plus, it's a home run. Where it gets tricky with some of us, I run a little hot. I like vests even into the 20s. Even into the 20 degrees. That's when you go with the fleece vest. But I honestly don't think there's any place that you could go, unless it's a black tie affair, that the vest doesn't work. Do a radio show, vest. Okay. Golf vest. You could play Frisbee golf in a vest. The vest frees you up to do everything you want. You want to have the free swinging arms. I don't think working out in a vest is a good idea. But just going for a family walk, you got the pockets that you could put your dog doo-doo bag in. It's, to me, you should be in a vest. I would think the amount of shorts that you wear, the vest will help cover when it comes to the coldness. Your legs will be a little cold, but your innards stay nice and warm. You should be in a vest somewhere between 50 and 65% of your year. You should be in a vest.
All right, two other follow-ups. under it, long sleeve, T-shirt, hoodie, light hoodie. What am I wearing? Short sleeve T-shirt, and then fully zipped up, partially zipped up, open. What are the proper techniques for vest wearing from that perspective?
I don't think you ever want to go fully zipped up unless you're doing a radio show, because it kind of catches the mic if you have the vest, as you found out with quarter zips.
Yeah.
If you quarter zip and don't have it all the way up, it will scratch on the microphone if you're doing it with, especially if you're walking and doing a hit.
Right.
So I would say you zip it like a normal jacket. I don't think you need to get caught up in all that. Long sleeve, like a nice dry fit long sleeve with the vest is perfect.
All right.
That's what I like.
And finally, when did you become a vest guy? Like, were you like working on the farm, wearing your Fleet Farm vest?
No,
or what? Where did this?
I would say probably 3 or 4 years ago. I got the nice Wisconsin vest that just it was kind of classy. Now I've worn it out and it's
Very classy.
Beaten down
Yes,
a little bit.
classy.
But you can wear it. I think it's a classier vest. Now I have a couple of new Wisconsin vests that are more sheeny. It has the sheen rather than the cloth, like the heavy, nice, soft fabric. I like the softer fabric better. It's more, that's the word I was looking for, fleecy than the shine. So the great thing about a vest, it gives you the variance that you can go, if it's cold, put a hoodie on and put the vest on underneath. You got again, those pockets to the side are what I think makes the vest kind of tick.
Well, I know one of those vests in your rotation you got from Gina Della and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
You execute a great vest. It's like executing a great window deal. And Team Pella, they are executing some incredible plays. Products with limited lifetime warranties, like the incredible innovations, blinds and shades between the glass, stylish windows with hidden screens that will make your game days a breeze. This Pella play proves to be the game-winning tutor. You make monthly payments as low as $19 per window, $75 per patio door, and you can get a free quote at PellaWI.com today. 6.99% financing for 120 months. Certain restrictions do apply. See showroom for details. This offer ends around the trade deadline of the NFL, which is Halloween.
We've got a call that we want to get to from Kevin in Menominee Falls. He's going to suggest a different trade, not Aaron Jones related. We'll talk to him, and we'll talk a little more about Aaron Jones because Adam Stenovich, not Adam Schefter, Adam Stenovich talked about Aaron Jones earlier this week. We'll get to that as well. That's all still ahead. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Take it to the house this season and enjoy tailgating from your own backyard. Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. You can win game day gear for your next gathering by entering to win at Tito'sTailgate.com. Be sure to enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove Grill, a Broommate back tap for batch cocktails, or a Tito's football jersey. For official rules, visit Tito'sTailgate.com. Must be 21 years old to enter. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Hey, it's Stacy Bruner from Bruner Realty. People have been telling me that buying a home is nothing to joke about, so instead of telling you another real estate joke, I'm going to have somebody else do it.
Jesse Nelson here. Why did the real estate agent buy a skateboard? So he could flip it.
Come on, Jesse, this is no laughing matter.
Well, when it's time to get serious about buying or selling, that's when people should do what we did and work with you.
Contact us at BrunerRealtyInc.com. Bruner Realty, homes to appreciate.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Ruggability. We straight made that word up. How else to describe the otherwise indescribable rugged, capable, incredible versatility and affordability of a Honda SUV? Car and Driver calls Honda the winningest brand in 10 Best history. Your kids will call it totally lit. But we like ruggability, and you'll like the incredifantabulous deals, so see your Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer today. Honda gets Wisconsin.
After every Green Bay game, there's only one place to react.
I'm starting to raise expectations when you think of all the weapons they have now.
Oh, God, yes.
Join Gabe Neitzel, Homer, and Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher on Green Bay Game Night. Your one-stop shop for analysis, insight, and maybe even overreaction.
Take that up back, get Rich. I ain't interested in all that. That play needs to go the way of the White Buffalo.
Green Bay Game Night, every week on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Tired of power outages disrupting your life? Make them a thing of the past by getting a Generac home standby generator from Adams Generators. Adams Generators is the largest and #1 rated Generac dealer in Wisconsin. With 24/7 emergency support, our factory-trained technicians are standing by to assist you. Visit adamspower.com/generators to make sure your power always stays on. That's adamspower.com/generators.
All right, Team Pella, listen up.
Thanks, John Kuhn. Customers love our products with limited lifetime warranties. Check out these big plays. Incredible innovations like blinds and shades between the glass.
No interference on that play, Coach.
And stylish windows with hidden screens that make game days a breeze.
Can it get any better?
It can. With monthly payments as low as $19 per window, $75 per patio door, and a free quote at PellaWI.com.
Let's go.
6.99 APR for 120 months. Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offers on 10/31/2023.
You'll notice that some jewelry stores in the area are giving big, deep down discounts, as much as 60%. But you know what they're doing, don't you? They're just marking it up to mark it down. That's why for over 30 years, Chalmers Jewelers has offered you truth in pricing. You will always find great value on unique custom jewelry at Chalmers Jewelers. Truth in pricing is what it's always been.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
I've been dreaming about the West Coast. Found some places that I don't know. Seeing signs for California. Trade the shade for something more.
There's always scenarios that come up, and we could see a team this weekend, a contending team, lose a running back, or all of a sudden they're in the market and say, okay. Like, by the way, the Miami Dolphins, who, again, were linked to Jonathan Taylor. Let's say they wanted Aaron Jones. What do you think they would be willing to give up to go get him? I don't think it'd be enough to make the Packers want to trade him. So I don't see that as a practical solution, but let's see what happens and changes here in the next couple of weeks before the October 31st trade deadline.
That is Adam Schefter with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, who you can hear each weekday, 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. And each Wednesday, Adam joins them. Also, quick correction, Tausch is right. Although they, I believe, announced that they were re-signing Patrick Taylor to the practice squad, because Rob Domofsky and I had a long conversation of, does that reset the elevation numbers for him? Because he's being re-signed to it, which, by the way, the answer was no. You only get 3 no matter how many times you're signed and not signed. He had been someone that they were really excited about, and I think Tausch is right. I know he's right that he's not with them anymore, but I think he probably got sick of being, for lack of a better term, jerked around. So he is looking for opportunities elsewhere. He tried out for the Patriots earlier this week. All right. So Aaron Jones isn't going anywhere. We all agree.
Yeah, unless what Schefter said, if somebody gives up I guess maybe even a sec, I can't imagine anyone would nobody will give up a first. I just don't think that that's in the cards. I don't want it to be in the cards. I want to see what Jordan Love can do with Aaron Jones. I do want that part of this evaluation.
And we also agree, just before we play this clip from Adam Stenovich, that if Aaron Jones had played against Atlanta and Las Vegas, we both agree they would have won those games. Or am I alone in that?
For certain, Las Vegas. I think Atlanta, you could make a really good argument too, but I would say I would guarantee 1 out of 2, and you feel pretty good that they'd win both.
All right. Now, we talked to Adam Stenovich earlier this week, and we talked about Aaron Jones' absence from the offense. Here he is.
With our offense, like, the biggest thing right now is us not – you may have the perfect play called and you just kind of get the bare minimum, or you may have a bad play called and then a playmaker doesn't get you out of it. You know what I mean? So he's one of those guys that really has a knack for it. He's shown, over the course of the last 5 years to be pretty exceptional when it comes to that. So anytime you take a playmaker off the field like that, it's going to affect your offense. And it's just a matter of allowing these other guys opportunities, to create plays. So we're still kind of figuring out which guys we can put in which area and which guys we can count on, because it's one thing to be out in the practice field and they show up, but then once the game time rolls around, you might be getting a different story. So we just got to keep hammering home and keep our faith in these guys, because we do have some talent.
Now, Tausch, I feel between you and Joe Philbin, I have heard variations of this repeatedly. It's about players, not plays, or what is it, Jimmys and Joes, not X's and O's, or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that was Philbin's.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones is the guy that does the two things that he just said have been the problem. He gets more than the bare minimum out of plays that are blocked up properly, and if you have a bad play, he's a good enough player to turn it into a somewhat positive or potentially really positive play. And he's the only guy that they have at this point, we would agree, that can do that, right?
Yeah, I think that's kind of been the case. And, I don't think that was a shot at A.J. Dillon, but I think it was obviously you're going to block what you get. I just think back to when I was playing and how we could block up a power or a zone play or a toss buck, and it could be, blocked up for, let's say, 3 or 4 yards. And I never will forget, we were getting our break speed in up in the Metrodome. Bad. I think we were down 17 or 20 at the half, and we ran a power play right out of the gates at the 20-yard line, and Amon Green was not going to – he was not getting tackled. He ended up taking it in for a tutter, or – we ended up scoring a tutter on that drive. He had a long run. I think it was a 70 or 80-yard run.
Okay.
And he barreled over 3 people. And that sparked us back. And that's the kind of stuff that Stenovich is talking about, because you need your playmakers to make those plays. That wasn't blocked up for an 80-yard run.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably blocked up for a 2-yard run. And he decided, well, I'm not going to let this guy we saw a little bit of it. It was in the Wisconsin-Iowa game. Braylon Allen had a couple of,
right.
I'm not going to get tackled for 3 or 4 yard runs. I'm going to barrel over people. He's your playmaker. He needs to do that. The same thing with Aaron Jones. And why that's important is because when you get in those lulls offensively where you can't get a first down and you need someone to give you a spark, you have to have that guy there. And Jordan Love, you always need the quarterback at some point to be that guy. But there's other players that will lift up a quarterback when maybe he's not having a great game or he's having some struggles. That's the thing that will kind of lift you up and move you forward to help your offense get more efficient and make you, raise your game up a little bit. That's what I think Steno is talking about, and that's where Aaron Jones makes a big difference.
So how quickly can another player become that player for you? Because let's be honest, Aaron Jones, we don't know what his future holds after this year. It's one of the reasons why we're willing to even discuss the slight possibility of him being traded. He's missed 3 of the last 4 games. But they've got a lot of young guys that we all see potential and athleticism and talent. But, Rob Domofsky, at another point in this conversation with Adam Stenovich, brought up the fact that watching him in training camp, Luke Musgrave looked like he was going to get 60 catches. Remember when Bill Huber put that out there? That hasn't materialized. So how long does it take before you have a guy that can make something out of nothing or make more out of something like Aaron Jones or, in your case, Amon Green was able to do?
Well, I think the key, and this is why, you ask this question to a lot of players, especially when they get to year 3, 4, and have developed as playmakers, it is about when did you know? You have to have that belief in yourself and actually go out there and do it. And I can think of many plays that spark guys' careers, and one of them that always jumps to my mind is one of the most underrated players in Packers history, in my opinion, is Ryan Grant.
Ryan Grant. I knew you were going to say
Ryan Grant was somebody that I think traded a 7th round pick for him, kind of an afterthought. and we go up to the Meadowlands. It's kind of the same thing. We're struggling a little bit. Gets out on a screen pass, and I won't forget it. It's down the left side on the sideline on the field, and he does this like sprint and then does a great little spin move and jukes a guy and ends up taking a screen pass, 30 or 40 yards, and everybody's like, whoa, I didn't see that. And next thing you know, RG, and it still took a little time, but that all of a sudden, the coaches have to have belief in you, and you have to have belief that you can do it. And when you get those things meshed, it typically comes from 1 or 2 plays.
Right.
That's why I was excited about Smitty. That didn't materialize. Smitty, it never materialized when he had that big play in the Ravens. I thought, wow, coaches loved it. He showed some things.
Yeah.
You have to build off of it, but it at least gives you a chance to have a chance when you can make a big play and get the buy-in and the belief that you're looking for.
It's a really good example. All right, I know Kevin's been waiting for a while. I want to hear this trade opportunity and either.
Just wait. Before Kevin jumps on, who do we think Kevin is trading?
I think he's trading A.J. Dillon.
Okay.
Now,
Let's hear
again, I don't know what his market is, and I don't know if I'm right. Let's find out. Let's talk to Kevin in Menominee Falls. Kevin, good morning. Thanks for waiting. How you doing?
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Yeah, I had actually 2 trades. I would like to trade A.J. Dillon because he obviously hasn't done anything as a Packer. He's brought in to get the first and goal and drive it into the end zone. He's been unable to do that since he's been there. And then I'd also trade Myers, our center, and move Jenkins from left guard to center, which was his natural position at Texas A&M, who I believe would be a Pro Bowl center and help Love out a lot more than Myers is being. And then the one thing to hear from you guys is, do you think that the Green Bay Packers as an organization are going to clean house once Mark Murphy's term is up in 2025 with a whole new coaching staff, get rid of Goody and his staff, and then say goodbye to Mark for good in 2025? And I'll let you guys talk. I've talked enough, and I appreciate your comments on what I just said. Thank you so much.
Thanks for waiting for as long as you did, Kevin. We appreciate your patience. Look, I don't know what you get for either one of those players right now. What'd you call those before? A distressed asset? Were you the one that said that to me? It's a really good phrase. Somebody did.
It's a phrase. It's kind of dehumanizing, but I understand what the point is.
To give. I mean, I don't know what you're getting for A.J. Dillon right now, and I really don't know what you're getting for Josh Myers. So that's a drawback.
I think I'll say this: you could probably get more for Josh than A.J. just because of the position that he plays and the fact that he was they're both high picks or higher picks. That's just not where we're at. A.J. Dillon is more valuable to us than he's going to be to someone else for maybe a 6th-round conditional or 7th. That would be the top end.
Right.
I don't think that is in the cards. So you always have to kind of weigh, well, what am I gaining? If you're going to cut him, which they're not, then you could look at it and say, all right, maybe that makes sense. Josh Myers, he's going to be your center, I think, for the rest of this season. And if he doesn't play better, I would think that they're going to move in a different direction. I don't think at this point in the season with where they're at, had David Bakhtiari not gotten hurt, I think then you're looking at then it might be a little bit of a different story.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know who you would end up putting in there outside of moving either Zach Tom or Elton Jenkins to center. That was a decision that I think they really were close to about week 2 of the preseason. And Zach Tom played so well at tackle that I think they thought, let's ride this out with Josh Myers. So neither of those two, I don't think, have a ton of trade value that anyone – if you're going to do this, you need to get some value back. And I just don't venture that that's going to be the case. So for as much as I like the fact that Brad is throwing these ideas out, I would say both would be a no-go for me.
Kevin. But I would also
I thought
say
it was
that
Brad. I had a text from a Brad, so it's different. Okay.
The other thing I would say is the fact that they apparently lost
Names are so different.
lost faith in Brad Nyman. Josh Nyman was also a factor there too. Like Steno crushed him that day that I asked about him. So
He did.
That was not encouraging either. I'm still a Yash believer.
Has anyone asked him for an update on Yash after he blocked that field goal? See if he had anything positive to say about old Yasher?
No, I believe the head coach was really not pleased with that, and I would still like Adam Stenovich to answer our questions honestly, so I did not want to poke the bear on that and bring that back up. So I will not be asking him again about Yash Nyman. What I will be heard asking
Jason, is there any chance that Steno becomes the play caller? You saw Frank Reich give up the play calling in
No.
Carolina. LaFleur will never give up his play calling?
I don't think so. Mike McCarthy did it once and immediately regretted it and took it back like a couple months later, right? And what was that, 15?
It's like marbles, no take-backs. No, you can't take back.
Oh, cat's eye, a Steely. I've learned so much on this show. Lots of useless information that I now have about marbles and many other things.
Playing marbles
including
at the
vests.
recess with Brad back in the day? Was that?
Brad and Kevin, they both used to play.
Well, in fairness, it took you 40 minutes to get to Kevin's call, so that's why it's
Don't do that.
That's in
Come
fairness.
on.
No, in fairness.
Come on, just own the fact that you called him by the wrong name.
Yeah, I
and
did.
we'll
I
move
called him by the...
We haven't had a Brad
I
on
called-
since Norton
I-
came on to announce their new show a month and a half ago.
I called Kevin Brad. That was my bad. I do want to get to his, and I know you got to get out here, but I do want to get to his Mark Murphy question. I think that's a very interesting question.
That sounds like a great idea. We will get to that. We will also get to a little more from Steno coming up. Want to remind you, the Packers and Associated Bank, they've been together since 1919, and they're still together today. They are the official bank of the Packers, and if you want Packers checking and all the perks that come with it, the great customer service, the 10% discount at the Packers Pro Shop, both online and in store, and the events that we do from time to time as well, well, then you got to sign up for Packers checking. Go to associatedbank.com/Packers. That's associatedbank.com/Packers to find out more. We'll talk a little bit about the future beyond 2023 and the idea of an entirely new regime. I don't know about that, Jim. We'll talk about it next. Or Brad. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Today on ESPN Radio. After storming into Houston and winning games 1 and 2, the Rangers return home looking to take a commanding 3-0 lead. Coverage begins today at 7:30 Eastern, with first pitch at 8 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Mark Tauscher here for the great team at Everlight Solar. Whether you're saving up to buy a jersey for your new favorite player, tickets to a game, or simply need some extra spending money for you and your family, it's always great to learn new ways to save some extra cash. Well, I've been telling you for a while now about how you can save money and help save the planet by making the switch to Everlight Solar. When my family first thought about making the energy switch to solar, we weren't exactly sure where to go. That's when we got in touch with the team at Everlight Solar, and through every step of the process, they were great as we made that switch to solar. If you're interested in making the switch, let them do the same for you. Check out everlightsolar.com to find out more and schedule a free consultation. Save money and help save the planet. When you're ready to make the switch, take my word for it. Count on the team at Everlight Solar.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau.
The standards have been set from quarterbacks that have been here before us, and you're trying to continue to raise your game until you get to that bar.
This is your green and gold fix on 100.5 ESPN.
You're going to evolve throughout the course of the season. It's always the fine line of what's too much.
This green and gold fix is driven by Metro Ford.
After an off day Tuesday, Packers will get back on the practice field today ahead of Sunday's game in Denver against the Broncos. ESPN Wisconsin's Jason Welly appearing on Jen Game and Chewy earlier this week talking about the game.
You know, this is a team that looks to me like a team that should beat the Denver Broncos because the Denver Broncos are terrible and they're selling off assets. But I can easily see them finding a way to lose to the Denver Broncos on the road, too.
Kickoff is set for 3:25 in Denver on Sunday as the Packers look to snap a 2-game losing streak.
Purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Ford at Metro Ford of Madison on the east side today.
If you're looking to fill the vacant space in your commercial building, the local agents at RE/MAX and the Preferred Commercial Group are eager to grow your bottom line. Head to commercialwisconsin.com/ESPN and find an investment partner to lead the way to your property dreams today.
A bank that goes the extra yard? You got it. Show your love for the green and gold with Packers checking only from Associated Bank. Make every transaction a touchdown with your Packers debit MasterCard. And when you use it at the Packers Pro Shop, at the stadium, or online, you'll get 10% off. Associated Bank's Packers checking scores the home field advantage by delivering Midwest-based customer care, outstanding value, and more. Get in the game and learn more today at AssociatedBank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
It's spooky, it's scary, but don't be frightened. It's the Graveyard Grabs promotion at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison on Saturday, October 28th from 5 to 9 p.m. 27 winners will be selected to enter our graveyard filled with piles of rewards play and cash prizes. 3 winners every half hour will select 3 scary prize pieces, and each will keep the total amount of their own selections. Each winner has a chance to walk away with a total of $3,000 in cash. It's a frighteningly good time at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Hey, Drew Scott here, and I'm Jonathan Scott, reminding you that life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance. They can help you get just the right protection at just the right price and help you save when you bundle home and auto. Kind of like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. It'll be just right for you. We love a custom build. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse isn't just a barbecue restaurant. Fish fry, walleye, and vegetarian options are available, and they have a menu that's sure to please everyone. Liberty Station smokes their meats daily with a 1,000-gallon custom smoker, giving you the freshest experience possible. Enjoy happy hour with daily discounts on both food and drinks at their large bar with 20 draft taps and multiple TVs to watch the big game. Be sure to check out their sprawling patio with an indoor and outdoor porch area too. Liberty Station off the Beltline on Rimrock Road.
Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. Win game day gear by entering to win at Tito'sTailgate.com. Enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove Grill or a Brewmate. For official rules, visit Tito'sTailgate.com. Must be 21 plus to enter.
Come to decide that the things that I tried were in my life just to get high on. When I sit alone, come get a little known, but I need more than myself this time. Step from the road to the sea to the sky, and I do believe that we rely on. When I lay it on, come get to play it on all my life to satisfy.
So, Kevin in Menominee Falls,
a.k.a. Brad, also known as Brad,
who waited on hold for 40 minutes, or so I'm told, which led to people forgetting his name, asked about the possibility of cleaning house under the next president, who I still think will be Ed Policy. I don't know that.
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
I don't know about
I don't
that,
either.
Jim.
You know, we both like Rob Davis a lot. He now works again for the organization. I've had this conversation with a few other people inside and outside the building that there is a feeling that he would be a strong candidate. But whoever it is, Tausch, they are not going to have the same level of loyalty to the coach and the general manager because Mark Murphy hired the coach and the general manager. He made those calls. Now, he inherited from Bob Harlan Mike McCarthy and Ted Thompson, who won a Super Bowl. He gently nudged Ted into retirement as he dealt with health issues. Probably didn't handle it as straightforwardly as needed to be held. And I, again, you've heard me say this many times, I did not do a very good job as a reporter of making sure that a publicly owned franchise, that the stories that I was being told were reported. So I'm not faulting Mark Murphy for his handling, but I do think that that was problematic for this organization. But these are his guys. Whoever's next will be in the same position he was in when he got Mike and Ted.
Well,
except for the fact that Mike and Ted the year before he took over, took the team to the NFC Championship game unexpectedly. And then a few years later won a Super Bowl. So, Tausch, when Kevin/Brad asks that, there's a lot of stuff that can happen between now and then, including Jordan Love turning out to be good, and you don't want to change things because he's vibing with the coach and you like the guys that the GM drafted. But there's also the scenario where this all goes to hell in a handbasket. I don't think that's what's going to happen, but I can't say for certain it won't. So how do you view Kevin/Brad's question?
Well, I'm going to be fascinated to watch, and I hope that there is a lot of eyes on how this transition goes. I think that this is going to be a monster, depending on whom gets the job to replace Mark Murphy. I think there's going to be a lot of politics and a lot of differing factions of people are going to want certain people in. And whoever ends up getting that spot, it depends. That will depend on Brad/Kevin's question of who stays. Because for as much as it could be all about success, that obviously helps a bunch. We've seen this numerous times where it's not. It's about personality and it's about ego and it's about putting your person in the position to have your stamp on the football team. And especially, you'll know whether Jordan Love is the guy by then. I know Mark Murphy had it down after 8 weeks, and we're heading into week 6.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll know exactly what we're thinking at that point yet, but there's a really good possibility that what Kevin's question is yeah. I don't know a ton of people that take over and put in all their work and effort to get to be in decision-making roles that just want to stand pat and not do anything. If you don't believe me, just go ahead and look at what the NFL does. How many times do you hear, well, it's not his quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
It's not his coach.
Mm-hmm.
I want my players. I want this. And obviously, great success makes that a lot harder to do. But you could look at the University of Wisconsin, and what Chris McIntosh did. He wants to put his stamp on what goes on.
No doubt.
So he worked hard to get that position, and hey, let's see how that plays out. Same thing's going to happen whenever and whomever takes over. But the idea that, well, we're just going to stand pat, I think it's much more likely you don't stand pat than you do. That's just because that's what the history of this shows. When people take over and get new ownership and they do different things and new leadership, it typically means new ideas and new people to implement them. So if I'm Matt LaFleur and Brian Gutekunst, I know my job is on the line here as far as the Jordan Love component to this and winning games. You get a little leeway, but Mark Murphy's deal, when is it done? The summer of 25? That's
July 25 is when he turns 70. Yeah.
You might as well be talking about that is so far into the future in NFL terms. But I would think that if you're being objective about it, the odds are if you have somebody new, especially from completely outside of the organization, I'd have my eyes open if I was
Jimmy
those
Haslam. At what point do you start the process of replacing him, though? Like, remember, Bob Harlan started the process, and then it actually had to be restarted because John Jones was going to be his heir apparent, and then John had a medical emergency and wasn't able to fulfill the duties. Then they had to start the process all over again. They used a headhunting firm. They ended up with Mark Murphy. So when do you start this process next summer?
Oh, I think the process is already started.
Well, all right, let me say this. I agree. When do you start the process in earnest? Like you're actually starting to – there are reports of candidates being interviewed and those types of things. Next summer?
would think that you would – I would think you would want to have the next person with at least 6 months plus named. That's where I would think.
So
I would think you'd want that
going into next season, during next season, like during the football season.
I would say, yeah. Mark Murphy got announced during the season,
right? Like
in 2007.
November or December. Yep.
I would think that you would be looking at a November, December of next. I actually think it's going to be earlier than that. I think that they're going to try and have everything buttoned up and done.
Okay.
I wouldn't be shocked if you did something next year at the what is that little meeting that they do, the shareholders meeting.
Okay.
Where they get all the fans to come. That's I wouldn't be shocked if they did it then.
Okay. Well, then you will have your president
I would
in
say,
waiting.
is that something
knowing
that
about
you
the
will
quarterback.
cover and report and investigate and get into? Because I think it's going to be a fascinating process. If I was advising a journalist like you, a young journalist, I would say get on board with a couple of the board members and get the leaks and get all that info out so that you can do – I think this is going to be a fascinating process. I do. And I think
agree.
fans are going to be uber interested. So Jason Wilde's Enterprises, I would say dig in there and find a way to get in. That would be fascinating reportage if you can get in.
I would agree. Nope, you're right about that. I am fascinated also, though, by the timing because going back to what you just said, if they were to decide on this going into the season at the shareholders meeting, that would mean that we most likely will be going into 24 with the new president in waiting and not knowing for sure if Jordan Love's good enough or not, because I still don't think we're going to know by the end of the season.
And if you
that'll
remember,
factor in.
If you remember, I think one of the big things that Ron Wolf, when he took over and obviously transformed this franchise with Bob Harlan, one of the things he appreciated was that he got hired and was able to watch Lindy Infante and his staff go about their business. Probably not the worst idea for whomever takes over for Mark to be able to have that same luxury.
Well, another good point. And great journalism advice as well for young journalists or maybe ones that are approaching not over the hill but are starting to get to the crest of the hill.
It seems as if you wanted to work till you're 80. You still got half your career left.
74. Yeah, I still got I got plenty of time. I feel spry. Yes, no doubt about it. Now, I do want to
have any good sources on the board of directors? Is there anybody
I actually do have a couple.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe you do.
Yeah.
What are they saying?
Why are you always trying to stir stuff up, Jason?
It's fun when the shoe's on the other foot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very fun. I really enjoy it. They're saying there's one person that you have. Let me just say this. There is one name that you threw out there a while ago that I had someone say that you are crazy.
Okay.
How about that? That'll be between us. Yeah. All right, we will shift gears because we do want to talk about the current team, but that was a great question by Kevin. Brad. And if Kevin or Brad or you need legal advice because you or someone you care deeply about has been injured in an accident, well, then go to the guy that I care about and I appreciate and I respect, and that's David Gruber and Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. That's all it takes to get the ball rolling on making sure that you and your loved ones are taken care of in a situation like this. 414-276-6666. That's the one call, that's all number. 414-276-6666. Or just go to their website, gruber-law.com. Find more about the firm itself, about all their different lawyers and their bios and what they do in the community as well. Gruber Law Offices, one call. That's all. We'll continue our Packers conversation next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Buck and Honey's in Monona is hosting the new Wisconsin Huddle Show featuring star Wisconsin athletes and CBS sports anchor Zach Hanley every Monday night at 6:30. A $30 ticket includes a reserved seat, meet and greet, and a themed tailgate-style dinner spread. Wisconsin Huddle airs on WISC CBS every Friday evening. Come be a part of the live taping of Wisconsin Huddle and get to know your favorite Wisconsin student athletes. Call B&H Monona to reserve your seat at 608-478-2618. We'll see you at Buck and Honey's.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. The first AP poll of the men's college basketball season is out, and the Wisconsin Badgers are the first team off the list. Wisconsin received 53 points, 51 short of spot number 25, which is held by a Big Ten foe in Illinois. Other Big Ten teams on the list include Michigan State at number 4 and Purdue at number 3. Just behind those two is in-state rival Marquette, ranking number 5 to begin the season. Wisconsin tips off their season on November 5th, hosting Arkansas State.
Badger Minutes on ESPN Wisconsin are brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule an appointment online today at PellaWI.com.
Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. Well, it's always a good time to get that special someone in your life a beautiful gift. And when I'm in need of a new piece of jewelry, Chalmers Jewelers is my go-to place. Whether I want a timeless classic or a one-of-a-kind piece, Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison has just what I'm looking for. My life has been made so much easier thanks to the great team over at Chalmers Jewelers, and is the reason I keep going back for more. Visit chalmersjewelers.com to find your perfect new piece of jewelry today.
At Starion Bank, they pride themselves on being a super community bank. Small enough to show they care about you and the communities they serve, while being large enough to make big things happen. With 3 Madison area branches in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona, Starion Bank is here investing in your community while offering valuable personal and business banking services. Start your experience with Starion Bank today by going to starionbank.com. Member FDIC.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. I joined the Princeton Club because I was looking for a place I could invest in my health, and the environment and the community I have felt has made it so easy for me to incorporate it into my everyday life. It doesn't matter where you're at in your fitness journey because they have something to offer everyone. It also goes beyond fitness. From the moment you walk in the club to the moment you walk out, there is a togetherness felt throughout the members and staff that keeps you going for your better tomorrow. Don't wait any longer and get started on your fitness journey today at PrincetonClub.net. That's PrincetonClub.net.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Dash the Dane. That's right, Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company has expanded their delivery offerings with DoorDash. New customers get $5 off your first order of $25 or more. And don't forget, Dash Pass subscribers always receive free delivery. Order delivery today at GreatDanePub.com or on the DoorDash app and get food delivered from the Great Dane closest to you. Downtown, Hilldale, Fitchburg, or East Madison. Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's home for craft beer and pub food since 1994.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
We'll get to more of the Wilde and Stanovich show coming up a little bit later. Also, our buddy Rob Domofsky has the biggest lesson learned by the Green Bay Packers. You can read the other 31 teams' biggest lessons, too, if you're interested in them, but Rob's got his. We'll get to that as well. But, Jesse, you've got a few texts that you wanted to get to from the edition of James Robinson. Please tell me you have a text from someone named Brad.
I do not, but I have a text from someone named Jesse.
I-E, like you spell it?
No, Jesse.
A little cute heart over the I?
It might be
cute
me.
heart or not?
It might be me. It's Jesse and Madison. It's not me, but...
Okay. That would be
different
weird.
variations of this question coming in on the text line for you guys. Do you think James Robinson will have an impact this year? Also, I don't see the Pack making a trade without picks involved, and they need every draft pick at this point.
Oh, that is kind of Jesse-esque, though, to add like a second point to get it in there. I
also,
like that.
Here's my opinion. Yeah, I might have written this text.
Also, have you ever been to BullStreamTV.com?
Great question.
Let's define impact, Tausch. Like, do we see
Does he
James
make
Robinson?
one or two plays that impact the game? Does he have one game? I think if you're asking for James Robinson to come in and get you 1,000 yards, you're nuts. But if you're asking, can he come in and do, have a 2-touchdown run, 75-yard game, I would still say no.
Okay. So remember A.J. Dillon's rookie year?
I do. Tennessee.
It was 2020.
Right?
It was the pandemic season. They had two really good running backs. They had Aaron Jones and they had Jamal Williams, who was playing extremely well, I might add. Correct? And A.J. Dillon, I look at his numbers for most of that year. 2 carries for 14 yards, 5 carries for 17 yards, 1 carry for 3 yards, 5 carries for 11 yards. And then in the second to last game of the season, 21 carries for 124 yards and 2 tutters. Yeah. Okay.
Tennessee.
Tennessee, correct. Just like you said.
Yeah.
Do I see James Robinson having one of those games late in the year for them? No.
No.
I think there's also probably an argument to be made that we all remember that Tennessee game, and it made us think maybe increased our expectations for A.J. Dillon, who I thought in 21 was okay, and 22 was not as good as he was in 21, and now he's kind of trying to find his footing for this season. So I mean, James Robinson's not even on the 53 yet.
Correct. Jason, quick question for you. You have to put $100 down. A.J. Dillon's on this roster next year, or he's not?
I don't think so. I think they probably go a different direction, and I think what they probably do is draft someone later than they drafted A.J. Dillon in 2020, and they give Emmanuel Wilson. And I don't know if they're going to be once bitten, twice shy because of the Bakhtiari thing. But if they could get Aaron Jones to come back again on a discounted deal, let's say he's healthy enough to play the rest of the season, I think that becomes mostly a no-brainer because he doesn't want to go anywhere else.
Oh, I think Aaron Jones is back with. I think Aaron Jones will be back.
Unless he has hamstring injury issues off
even
and
then,
on the rest of the year.
I think you still take a flyer, put an incentive-laden deal. Aaron Jones is already acknowledged from a market standpoint that this is the place he needs to be.
Yeah.
And
he's
hopefully
got a G
he finishes
tattoo on
the
his knee.
season strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you got that tattoo. Exactly.
Jesse, you got one more text before we move on to the 10 o'clock hour.
Yeah, I do. RJ in Atlanta texts in at 844-770-3776. Only trades I'd consider if I was Goot would be Nixon, Savage, Campbell, Preston, or Yash.
It's a pretty long list for only.
Veteran players I doubt are back next year. Aaron Jones, too valuable for what you'd get back in return.
So AJ's right about that. Let's go, Tausch, let's go through those one by one. You've already said Nixon, who I think would have some trade value for a team that wants to jumpstart their return game. So
totally
I think
agree.
you're 100. Yeah, I was actually agreeing with you, so now you're agreeing with yourself. Savage.
Well, that's usually keeps me happy.
Savage. I don't know what his trade value is. They'd have to inherit the rest of his contract, or the Packers would have to
All right,
pay
here's
a
the
portion
deal.
of it.
Let's do it this way. Let's go to break. What I want to do is say you get a 5th round with a conditional with every one of these guys. Who are you trading and who would you not?
Okay. So that's what we're going to do. After Tausch.
A new game. 5th round conditional or nah?
Well, I'm excited. Jason and I are going to try. Jesse, can we do this in-show trivia on the video while you're doing SportsCenter, or do we need to wait?
Let's not
It's
do
a
it.
short set.
Yeah,
it's a 2-minute commercial
while I'm doing
break.
SportsCenter is probably the worst time you could propose to do that. But a different time, and maybe the next commercial break, we'll be able to do it. Yeah.
Well, there's never a bad time to go to a Badger game, and there's never a bad time to get a VIP experience at it. And American Family Insurance, they want to give you and a friend that VIP experience at a Badger football or basketball game during the 2023 season. You and a friend receive pregame, sideline, or courtside passes, tour of the facility, and tons of great merch to support your Badgers. Enter today at amfam.com/Badgers. No purchases necessary. Dream fearlessly, insure carefully.
All righty then. The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins with fifth round conditional or nah. Our new game. I hope Jesse can conjure up some music for it.
I'll do that between trivia.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Hey, this is Eric Game of The Athletic. You're listening to Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX Monona, Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison, and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out at 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. The Green Bay Packers back at practice today as they get set to visit the Denver Broncos Sunday afternoon. Coming out of the bye week, it will end a streak of one game over the span of 23 days for the Green and Gold. Last in action last Monday against the Las Vegas Raiders. Coming out of the bye week, ESPN Packers reporter Rob Domofsky with plenty to get you set for Packers Broncos over at ESPNWisconsin.com, including the Packers signing running back James Robinson, former 1,000-yard rusher with the Jacksonville Jaguars, to the team yesterday. Check it out, ESPNWisconsin.com. Plenty of conversation still to come as Wilde and Tausch continues this morning on ESPN Wisconsin and Wisconsin On Demand. College football, the Wisconsin Badgers, 2.5-point favorites for Saturday's contest, visiting Brett Bielema and the Illinois Fighting Illini in Champaign. Kickoff is set for 2:30 on Saturday afternoon. ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day gets the party started at 12:30, taking you up till kickoff right here on 100.5 ESPN.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Just climbing this rope right here. And if there's a man upstairs, he kept bringing me rain. But I've been sending up prayers and something's changed. I think I finally found my hallelujah. I've been waiting for this moment all my life.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch, Kevin and Brad, begins now. And it begins with our new game. Fifth round conditional draft pick or nah? All right, so let's rewind. Jesse, I know Tausch wanted to play in commercial break trivia, and we didn't do it. Can you call back up the text that we were discussing? RJ in Atlanta had rattled off a myriad of players only that he would consider trading.
We have it up on the video stream if you're watching us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube right there for you.
All right, so first, Keyshawn Nixon, who we both agree has trade value, and we could see a team being interested in him as a returner and as a slot guy. You've got Eric Stokes potentially making his debut this week. We'll see if they decide to activate him from the PUP or not. They have opened the practice window for him, and he has been practicing. He'll practice again today. But if you're only, in this one instance, getting back a fifth-round conditional pick, are you willing to trade Keyshawn Nixon and not get more for that? That's why this was a good idea by you.
Thanks. No, that's why I brought it up. I think Keyshawn Nixon's value, even though, because let's say you decide not to re-sign him. He will have value in the market, and you have to look at the compensatory pick deal, right? And if you end up, let's say somebody signs him to a mid contract, which $2-3 million a year, you're going to probably get a 5th or 6th in a comp back. Correct. So it's not worth it. Now, if you start doing like the NBA does, which I think you're going to start seeing more of, where it's 4th-round pick, but I get the better of the 2. So if I trade with Carolina's at the top, I get theirs, you get mine. I think you're going to start seeing a little bit more of that in the NFL too. That's where I would look at. I think Keyshawn, I don't think you're going to get a 3rd for him, but if you do, a deuces 2-5.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get that much either.
Here's what I'd say. 4th-round pick, and if he returns a tutter, it goes to a 3rd.
Okay. Interesting conditions, and if he plays 65% of the remaining snaps. All right, I agree that he is tradable. I don't think he's going anywhere.
I would agree.
Especially when you point out that, and I don't know, in your history, do you have back problems in your NFL career history? Not significant ones anyway, right?
Not really.
This Jair Alexander back issue thing would also give me pause on moving on from anybody at corner, because if something crops up with him, now you're moving Eric Stokes to his spot when he's missing time.
Yep. So, Jason, I look at this from I would be very pleased to say deuces or reluctantly. So I know it's conditional or not. I reluctantly allow or thank you for. Me? Well, I'm not changing the game.
You are.
There's a difference. No, there's a difference.
You're adding
a
layer.
Basically is. I am like a vest, if you will. Thank you for your service. I appreciate you, but man, I can't believe somebody's given us a 5th. Or no, if this isn't the right fit, we'd love to keep you.
All right. So the next player on our. I am reluctantly taking a 5th-round conditional pick. I am happily taking a 5th-round pick, or nah, is Darnell Savage.
Reluctant. The safety position, your guy, Jonathan/Rudy Ford.
Yeah, my guy.
Is having a nice year.
He is.
He's having a nice year.
Yes.
Savage obviously got dinged up a little bit, but I think Darnell Savage has been better too than what he's been.
He's answered the bell.
So I don't need to get rid of Darnell Savage if it's the right fit. This is a total reluctant 5th-round conditional pick, but I have no problem. I'd like to see Savage finish this year off, and then the Packers will have a decision to make as far as what they want to do moving forward. I'm guessing they're going to go in a new direction if I was a betting man.
I would agree, and I think there will be other teams that will be interested in him in the offseason. I know there are people that believe he's been misused here. So
Who are those people?
I just know there's people.
Okay.
I'll give you a couple of guesses. I think you could figure
There's a segment that I want to do. I saw this on social media. There is this journalist interviewing a politician. I don't even know what party the dude was. And the guy's eating an apple. And he's saying, well, who are the people? Because the guy's like, well, a lot of people say you do this. Well, you're in this book. And the guy is just chomping on this apple. And he's asking the journalist to say, well, just tell me who said this. Well, what is the point that you're making? I want to start doing that with an apple.
Okay.
Doesn't that sound fun?
I am not a fan of the journalistic approach of a lot of people are saying that you don't know what the hell you're doing. Okay, I don't like that. I try to put myself, I'm starting to wonder if you know what you're doing, kind of a thing. I don't like to pin it on other people, but when there's a sourcing issue, that's where I'm saying there are other people who believe Darnell Savage.
I understand. I just love
a lot
the
of people
apple
do like
idea.
that approach to journalism.
I think I'm bringing an apple to the show tomorrow, and when I have to follow up, I'm going to take a bite of the apple and ask. I think it's fun.
Doesn't that just kind of turn into you just talking
Eating
with
on
your
the
mouth?
radio?
No, it would be.
Is this your
how
way to
about
manipulate
them
eating a
apples?
snack
No,
during
it would
the
be.
show?
How about them
I got
apples?
a number. How do you like them apples? All right.
If you're hungry, just go eat. It's okay.
No. It's not about First off, I'm not going to get an apple.
How's this game going?
It'll be something else.
Would you say?
So far, so good. Because get to
now
the
we've
next
introduced
one. There's
an
one that I
apple.
think will. There's one that I think will surprise you. That's why I thought this was interesting.
Well, we're not going to
and
get
that
to it at
person
the
is
rate we're
coming up
going.
next.
All right, okay.
Well, get to him next.
I'm trying. Darnell Savage, I think, will fetch potentially a decent compensatory pick combination.
I agree.
So I am
Darnell
not trading
Savage
him.
should stay. Reluctant. We agree? Reluctant? Both of us?
That's me eating an apple. All right. How about Devondre Campbell? Devondre Campbell, who has not played since spraining his ankle on the first defensive snap against New Orleans, which feels like a year ago.
Yeah, this I don't think will surprise you. And this is why I thought it was interesting. Thank you. You know what? Devondre he had a great year 2 years ago. He's been injured. We've been paying him a ton. Quay Walker, I think, needs to take over and kind of just be that dog. I think Devondre Campbell's time with Green Bay is probably about up. And if somebody is looking for a veteran linebacker that would be willing to give us a draft pick, I don't even need it to be fifth. I would be fine and okay with saying, thank you, Devondre Campbell. I think it's time to move on.
So
is that too harsh?
No, I don't think it is. Now, I would, in fairness to Devondre, who I don't know at all, frankly. Like, I think he's talked in the locker room maybe 3 times during his time with the Packers. He does not have any interest in interacting with us. I am not holding that against him. In fairness to him, he has been hurt, and so I don't know if I can accurately say this or not, but I was lightning in a bottle guy with him. Now, Rasul Douglas, I also said that about, and I couldn't have been more wrong. I was 1,000% wrong. Rasul Douglas is a dog, as you like to say, and a really good football player, and has become one of my guys in the locker room who I really enjoy talking to. And I think he's honest, sometimes to a fault. I really like him, and he's a really good player. He has found the fit for him. Devondre Campbell, who went onto social media to basically, after he got his contract, tell people that he had been disrespected throughout his career and that now that he's a first-team All-Pro, now people finally see how good he is. Now, since then, has not done much.
So you're in my camp.
So, yeah,
Deuces.
if I have an opportunity to get a pick for him, I'm definitely making that move. All right, we've got
He
2
will
left.
not be back he will not be back in Green Bay next year. Fair assessment?
I would tend to agree. All right, Preston Smith. Preston Smith.
Interesting one. Interesting. I don't want to get rid of him. I would say reluctant. Very reluctant with Preston Smith.
How
He's a
long
good
would you
player.
like to hold on to him? I don't want to trade him during this season.
Yeah, I don't know how much more guaranteed money he has. I think Devondre's guaranteed money is about done. 2 years. I think he had 2 years worth. I don't know Preston Smith. I don't know how much he has left on his deal.
Let me give you this. So Devondre Campbell's deal was 5 years, $50 million. The potential out where you don't get hit super hard with the dead cap is after next season.
Okay.
So there is some salary cap pain if you move on from him after this season, but it's not really bad. Let me put it that way. Okay? And you've got Rodgers off the books completely, so you can probably do it. Now, Preston Smith's contract, on the other hand, remember, they did alter his contract. They extended him. Preston Smith is signed through the 2026 season. But to your point, the structure of his deal, the out, according to Spotrac, is after this season.
Yeah.
So that, and with the drafting of Lucas Van Ness and some of the other young guys they like, I would not be surprised if they were to move on from him after the season. I wouldn't be surprised if he was back either. I think this is one I could see go either way.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, and I think Preston Smith has played good enough and stayed healthy enough
Agreed.
that Packer fans would be more than content with another year where Van Ness is learning and Rashawn Gary. Preston Smith is still a really good player. We saw that
super
last
durable,
week, and I think
too.
And I think we'll see that again on Sunday afternoon in Denver.
Yeah.
So I'm fine. I think if somebody wants to offer a fifth-round conditional, I think I'd probably trade him, but I would be reluctant doing so.
Yeah, and he can cover wide receivers, too. He's very versatile. All right, last one, Yosh Nijman. Yosh Nijman. Fifth-round conditional enthusiastically, fifth-round conditional reluctantly, or nah?
So my opinion differs from what I actually think the Packers' opinion.
I would agree.
I like Yashin a lot more than the Green Bay Packers do. He just had a blocked field goal that was big in that game. But I think the Packers, they don't value Yash probably the same. So I think if they could get a fifth-round conditional, they would be all in to trade him. I would not, because I think Yash still has good value, and his contract is set up well, that he is going to be a versatile, dependable backup tackle in a league where teams are struggling to find starters. I would reluctantly, very reluctantly, trade him if I was me. But I understand that's not how
he's the
Packers
last
feel.
guy on our list. Let me just ask you this. He is an unrestricted free agent next year now. Again, the compensatory pick equation, would someone pay Yosh Nijman to be their starting right tackle? I mean, here's what's mysterious about him. They put the second-round tender on him. They're paying him nearly $5 million this year to not play. So they clearly, or at least the coaches, clearly changed their mind on him. So at one time, there were a lot of people in that building that thought he was the starting right tackle of the future. He was also the starting right tackle of the present and played a lot of left tackle for them. And now he's just sort of there, blocking extra points and field goals. And that's about it.
Yeah, something weird. Something happened, something weird going on. I don't know what it is, but I think Yosh will be playing somewhere else next year. And no, I don't think he'll get a monster deal. I could see him getting like a Lucas Patrick type.
Perfect example.
Serviceable player. That's what I would see where Yosh goes.
All right, that is our new game that I don't foresee us playing again anytime soon. Fifth-round conditional pick.
Well,
enthusiastically.
the interesting part of this, I think, is Devondre Campbell. I think that's the part where I just think his time, I don't know where he's at with the Green Bay Packers. He has not been as good of a player as I think we all hoped he'd be after he got that contract. Fair?
Yeah, very fair. And he has been hurt, and that's part of it too. All right, we need to play trivia. Tausch needs to tell us about Coors Light, but let's get a caller first. It is Wednesday. No wonder you can chill with your Coors Light, because it is Wisconsin Geography Wednesday. So, 72 counties in the state of Wisconsin. 7 plus 2 is 9. So caller 9. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Not to be confused with caller 502, which was contemplated yesterday for Iowa's punter. Was that what we were doing?
Yeah.
Caller 9 for Wilde and Tausch, Wisconsin Geography Trivia. Caller 9, 844-770-3776. Now, Tausch, tell us about the geographic location of Golden, Colorado.
Everybody's heading out to Golden, Colorado this weekend. I'm sure people will love to have a Coors Light brewed with a 3-step cold process, cold lagered, cold filtered, and it is cold packaged because it's made to chill in those mountains. Oh, you'll see the Rockies out there. The Rockies are on every cold-activated bottle and can, and you got to make sure it is baby blue. That's when you know it is chilled to perfection. That's why it's Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Trivia, followed by Homer. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here, reminding you there's no better product and no better taste than the delicious taste of Grassland butter. Just like sports teams in Wisconsin are held to the expectation of competing for a championship, Grassland Dairy is always expected to be the highest quality butter produced from farm to table. And year after year, for more than 5 generations, they have delivered. And just like a championship caliber sports teams, one of the keys to success after all these years for Grassland Butter is the great players that make up the team. In Grassland's case, it's the hardworking dairy farmers all across Wisconsin who help produce the incredible ingredients that give Grassland Butter its rich flavor. Thank you, farmers, and thank you, Wisconsin, from Grassland Dairy. Butter better with better butter. Check out some creative new recipes and learn more about Grassland's story at grasslandbutter.com. Grassland Dairy, crafting butter for 5 generations.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
Hey, it's Alex Strofe. The high school football playoffs are officially here, and ESPN Madison has you covered every single Friday night. Join us beginning at 6:30 each Friday for Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania as we lead you up to the games at Camp Randall Stadium in mid-November.
Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania is also brought to you by Canopy Wealth Management, Pasquale's Cantina, UW Credit Union, Stoughton Trailers, the GRB Academy, and Stoughton Health.
Olson Toon has been customizing both residential and commercial outdoor living spaces since 1997. Matt Hamilton here from ESPN Madison. For over 50 years of combined experience in their management and design teams, Olson Toon has become one of Wisconsin's premier building and landscaping outdoor living firms. Landscaping and maintenance, irrigation, concrete work, pools, and more. If you have an outdoor living need, Olson Toon is here to help. Go to olsontoon.com to get started on your home project today. That's olsontoon.com.
Take it to the house this season and enjoy tailgating from your own backyard. Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. You can win game day gear for your next gathering by entering to win at titostailgate.com. Be sure to enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove Grill, a Brewmate back tap for batch cocktails, or a Tito's football jersey. For official rules, visit titostailgate.com. Must be 21 years old to enter. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Mark Toscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. Well, it's always a good time to get that special someone in your life a beautiful gift. And when I'm in need of a new piece of jewelry, Chalmers Jewelers is my go-to place. Whether I want a timeless classic or a one-of-a-kind piece, Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison has just what I'm looking for. My life has been made so much easier thanks to the great team over at Chalmers Jewelers, and is the reason I keep going back for more. Visit chalmersjewelers.com to find your perfect new piece of jewelry today.
Tired of power outages disrupting your life? Make them a thing of the past by getting a Generac home standby generator from Adams Generators. Adams Generators is the largest and #1 rated Generac dealer in Wisconsin. With 24/7 emergency support, our factory-trained technicians are standing by to assist you. Visit adamspower.com/generators to make sure your power always stays on. That's adamspower.com/generators.
Zimbrick Chevrolet.
When was the last time you had your oil changed or your tires rotated? Do you need new tires, a battery, perhaps some windshield wipers? Zimbrick Chevrolet Service Center is equipped to help you with routine maintenance, major repairs, and everything in between. Get your free battery inspection coupon and schedule an appointment today at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Don't overpay. Shop Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie.
Main Street, Sun Prairie, Zimbrick Chevrolet.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
You can feel the joy. A first-time contestant. Makes me happy. Warms the cockles of my heart. Let's play some trivia and let's welcome that first-time contestant in. It is Beanie in Bayview. Beanie!
Hello,
How you
hello.
been? Long time no talk.
I'm doing great. Absolutely. Thanks for having me on. Happy Wednesday to you guys.
All right, great to have you. Would you consider yourself well-versed in the subject of Wisconsin geography?
Well, we'll see, right?
That's usually, every time I ask that question, that's the exact answer I get from everybody. So I guess I'm going to stop asking. All right, Beanie, question 1. Which of these is a real Wisconsin city?
Oh.
Which of these is a real Wisconsin city? Is it Brillion, Trillion, or Quadrillion?
Oh, come on now. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Home of Aaron's.
Way too easy.
Yeah, that was cake.
Way too easy.
All right, Tausch didn't even bother to dignify that with a
No,
response.
No, I mean, I'm the first time, so you're starting me out with a layup. I appreciate it.
Okay, well,
Yep.
I'm sure Jesse's now going to be irritated that was too easy, so now let's see how question 2 goes. The largest air-supported high school dome in the country, the Hodag Dome, is a 128,000 cubic foot? Square foot?
Sorry, I missed the word there. Square foot.
Climate-controlled sports complex found in which of these Wisconsin cities? Is it Hayward, Rhinelander, or Manitowoc?
I mean, you gave it away by saying Hodag. It's got to be Rhinelander, no?
Yes, well done. Also making it easy. If you don't call
I
it the
ain't gonna lie to
Hodag
you.
Dome, I'm not getting it right, though.
These questions are, way too simple.
Hey, Beanie is well versed. Remember, we've been promoting out-of-state contestants to play. Like, if we had Joe in Arizona, I don't know if he gets the Hodag Dome.
That's fair. That's
So-
fair.
Weren't you a big deal in Rhinelander for a brief period of time?
I love Rhinelander.
Like, we had, their Chamber of Commerce person on the show, if I remember correctly.
I don't remember that, but I
Rhinelander's
do
a great
recall
town.
I've had a lot of good times
It
up
is a
in
great
the Hodag
town.
country.
Yeah, I also heard
Great
again
town.
from our friend Lori Bankston from the Wildlife Sanctuary checking in on the turtles.
Whoa, Nelly! She ain't going to like the answer to what Jesse did.
No, she's not. All right, Beanie, let's get a clean sweep here. Question number 3 is this.
They're thriving in the pond.
You have no idea what they're doing. You have absolutely no idea.
I'm assuming I can
There's a
only...
great bowl of soup.
I can
Jesse and
only
Beck had a great
assume
crock pot full of soup.
They
is what
hatched
happened.
and made their way to the pond while we were up north one weekend. this
Musty
summer.
Turtle Mac. All right. Question 3, Beanie, is this. Latitudinally, which of these Wisconsin cities is located the farthest south? Farthest south.
Okay.
Is it Shawano, Marinette, or Ladysmith?
Oh, that's tough.
It is tough.
No clue, but I'll go with the Ladysmith because the other ones sound up north.
I'm going to say Shawano on this one.
All right. The latitudinally, which of these cities is located the farthest south of these 3? One of you is right. One of you is not. Unfortunately, Tausch is the one who's right. Shawano. The correct answer, Shawano. All right, Beanie.
Shawano, as I like to call it.
Beanie, as with our first 2 contestants this week, you got 2 out of 3, which leaves you with 3 of the possible 4 entries. So now we've got 3 contestants with 3 entries each, including you. We appreciate you playing, and it's always
All
good to
right.
hear from you. Thanks, buddy.
I appreciate you guys. Of course. Take care. Be good.
All right, that's my line. That was trivia. How do we feel about the last question as a tougher?
Very fair question.
Yeah,
Especially
I liked
as
it.
easy as the first 2 were.
Yeah, those were layups.
Very good.
Yeah, the whole
Has anything been, you know how when you're studying for exams and you're trying to figure things out, don't you always recall, I always appreciated the fact that longitudinally you started thinking vertical and latitudinally you always went because of long. I think that is one of the best descriptors to really help students learn. The longitudinally, it's long ways, not the lat ways. I always appreciated
but the lat
that.
does nothing for you.
Yeah, latitude lines are also long. Like, they're actually longer.
I'm telling you,
than
I've
the
never had an
longitude
issue.
lines.
I've never had an issue with it, and I've always appreciated whoever decided on the map atlas dude or gal
Da Vinci, I
saying
think.
longitudinal. I've always understood it because longitudinally you think north-south every time.
We've discussed your stellar academic career during your time at the University of Wisconsin a number of times on this program, and your master's studies and everything else. How much map work did you have during your collegiate period?
Love map work. Big map. Matter of fact, I just saw.
Cartographer Tausch. Old
There's something that
cartography.
I'm going to ask for Christmas. I want one of those
map
old
kit.
school. No, a map where you could like pull down, like back in the old days when we were in school. Not everything is like videoed. Where you yank down the map and you have different continents.
Like in
you know what I
Sleepless
mean?
in Seattle, where he's yelling at his kid.
I don't know about Sleepless in Seattle,
many
but
states
wouldn't
are
it be cool right
between
here?
them? Ah!
If we have the map right here and I could just pull it down and we could do in-show trivia and I could say, where are we? And I'd point to it and whoever get the guess, like that would be fun for me.
Do you really
Where
think
is
there's a
Seattle?
practical use to that map? Like,
where is Baltimore?
how many times?
I don't know,
How
but
many times
I'm-
are you going to have the instinct to turn around, pull down the map, and check it in real and be like, yeah, that like.
Plus, you can't affix it to your nice armoire or whatever
Right.
that is. Like, you're going to damage the wood.
There's some different ways you can do those things. Here's the deal. I love maps. I think the study of cartography is, I believe, the study of maps. I think it's a beautiful thing. I do.
All right, the big cartographer,
Do you want
Mark
a
Tausch.
do you want like a world map, a U.S. map, or a Wisconsin map?
Jesse, so
Or
you're not
all
old
three?
enough. Jason will understand. It was layered. The
Yeah, I
map
can't-
pull down was layered.
So you want all
Yeah,
three?
and multiple ones.
It would
it's like a
spool
shade.
up.
Like the shade that is
Yes.
inside your roll screen, inside your Pella
Not
window.
not like the shade where you have to block
Right.
on Tackle Talk.
Or
This
throwing
is
shade.
There's literally like 7 or 8 tabs, Jesse, that you could yank down, and then it spins back up,
Right.
and you could say, "Oh, I want to pull down Antarctica today. Oh, I think it's
All right,
fascinating."
enough
You
with the
pull it down,
yanking.
you study it, you look at it. I'd like to find one that's 3D. That will jump
Oh,
out at
wait a
us.
minute.
That would even
You
be
can't
better.
have all those tabs then.
What?
Potentially, you're right, but it's a new era. Who would ever thought you could get a? I just saw somebody's printing steak. They had a 3D steak that they made. I understood waffles. Go to these hotels, you get a 3D waffle or a pancake. I'm seeing now they're doing 3D steaks. Can you believe it? So if you don't think they can pull off a way to do a 3D map that you can pull down, I don't think you're paying attention.
God, I love this show. I love what I do for a living. I really do. You just never know what's going to happen. I'm telling you, though, that theoretically, next is Homer. And I bet he remembers those maps. I bet that. We'll talk to him next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
LabCorp Clinical Trials is changing to a new name, Fortrea. While the name may be different, Fortrea combines decades of great experience and professionalism with new opportunities for clinical trial participation. It's more than a mission and more than a new name. Fortrea is dedicated to moving healthcare forward. To learn more about the future of healthcare and upcoming clinical trials, visit us at FortreaClinicalTrials.com. That's FORTREA clinicaltrials.com.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for my friends at Kohler Services. Have you been thinking?
All right, fellas, this is exclusive to the digital audience watching on Facebook,
Oh.
Twitter, and YouTube. How about this?
I'm excited. This
This
is
is-
something we've worked 10 to 12 months to get done, and we finally are doing it. So, Jesse, great work.
There it is. So here we go. Our timeout trivia challenge coming out of Wilde and Tausch Trivia. These 6 schools to play in 11 or more WIAA state football championship games. Just play in it, not win them. Who you got?
Okay, Edgar is for sure on there. The E is Edgar, for sure.
Edgar is correct, yes.
SMS is St. Mary Springs.
Wait a
and
minute.
Fond du
So
Lac.
why am I here?
Well, no, go ahead. Because
I
those
thought
are the
we
two
were
that I
gonna
knew
alternate.
for sure. All right, alternate. Don't take SMS.
All right.
Jason, which one would you like to guess?
I would like to guess that the W is Wanakee since I can't do St. Mary's Springs, which I did like 3 commercial breaks ago, by the way.
The only Wanakee in the world is, in fact, correct. That is one of the 6.
All right,
Okay,
now,
well, I'm gonna
St.
go
Mary's
with that.
Springs.
Yep.
St. Mary's Springs is also correct, yes.
So the lettering on this is what's throwing me off. I thought maybe Lodi, because Lodi had been in a bunch, but that's not because it's too long. What, Jason? You know any of these other three?
Yeah, I think I know the L.
Let's collaborate. Do you know any more? Then take them, because I don't.
No, I think I know the L. I don't know the A. Unless
Lancaster?
That's what I was going to say.
You think L's Lancaster?
I'm going to say
I would too.
Yes.
Yeah, let's sign up for that one.
Lancaster is correct. Nicely done, fellas. You got that one.
All right, so now the A, I was going to guess. Now, I was going to guess Arrowhead, but is that technically Heartland Arrowhead? Would that be H dash 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 A dash 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 dash? That was going to be my next
Arrowhead.
guess.
Let's guess Arrowhead. I like that.
You're guessing Arrowhead. Bunch of state titles. It's correct. Nicely done.
Wow.
Arrowhead, not Heartland Arrowhead. Just
I feel
Arrowhead
like
is right.
Ashwaubenon with Steck was good too. It wasn't Ashwaubenon. Are they in the mix on that, or is that not?
Well, it doesn't start with a D, so
I
no.
know. I know
Well, no, but I
Ashwaubenon.
meant instead of Arrowhead.
I know Ashwaubenon has 4 high school
Okay.
football championships. I don't know how many. They've been down for a while, so I don't know how many.
20
appearances.
seconds, fellas. 20 seconds.
D. If you had S, Stratford, I know has got to be close to 11 too. D.
If I
It's gotta
gave
be
you a
smaller
hint,
school.
mention this player earlier this week on the show. An alum of this school. Alex Erickson.
Darlington.
Darlington it is. Nicely done,
wow.
Jason. Well done. Those are your 6.
Covered my share of Darlington
I
games
think
over the
Wilde
years.
beat me on that. I think Jason maybe beat me on
we'll
that.
give you St. Mary Springs. All right, that was in break trivia. Thanks to those of you who tuned in.
And outdoor living firms. Go to olsontoon.com to get started on your outdoor living project today.
Whatever you do, make sure you do it right. Whatever you do, make sure you do it right. You're making love or starting the schoolyard fight. Make sure you do it right. Make sure you do it right. Whatever you do, make sure you do it right.
You know what that music means. God, I love this song. Duke Tomato and the All-Star Frogs. You hear Homer every weekday, 5 to 6 on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee on the Homer Hour with a cast of characters, including me, twice a week. You also hear him on the Marquette Men's Basketball Radio Network, and you check him out on YouTube. When you're not watching our show on YouTube, you can watch God Talk, My Faith, with Homer and Pip. It is Steve, the Homer True Homer. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to hear that Denver's tanking. I'm less worried that the Packers are going to lose. Are they officially tanking? Is that going to be your story, pre-game story? How many players have they gotten rid of?
I mean, they've basically taken their 2 best pass rushers and moved on from them, right? Randy Gregory and somebody else.
And they had both of them when they gave up 70 points, correct?
Yes, I believe that's true. They've got Jerry Jeudy on the block, but as our buddy Mark Schlereth would be happy to point out, and others, I'm not sure what he's worth, and maybe he's a guy that would flourish with a new team and getting a fresh start, but that is a toxic mix over there, and the quarterback's not playing well. And I don't think anybody on the panel is a big fan of the coach.
His numbers are okay.
Most people are saying he's playing well. Russ is playing better than you think.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
his
they're
stats
still
would
bad.
indicate that he's playing pretty well. Their defense is just brutally bad. Like all-time, as Homer likes to put it, all-world bad. Their defense. So,
for those of you
Homer,
wondering, Russell Wilson's numbers, he's completed 65.9% of his passes, which is 10% more than Jordan Love has. 12 touchdowns,
No
4
need to
picks,
go there.
99.0 passer rating.
I would say that's markedly better than where our quarterback's at, right? Stat-wise.
I wouldn't say it's awesome, but it's better than where the current.
But it's
Packers
markedly
quarterback's
better
numbers
than
are.
what our guy is doing.
And it's
right?
better than his
That's
numbers
all we're
last
saying.
year too. Yeah, fair.
Okay, so
Yeah,
it's been better.
the problem is their defense, right?
Yes, their defense has been bad, and
I mean,
not
Russell
just
Wilson,
in that one
I have
game.
listed as number 7 in the NFL in quarterback ratings, and Jordan Love is 29.
The Denver Broncos are last in the NFL in total defense, last in the NFL in rushing defense, 30th in the NFL in passing defense. They are averaging 33.3 points per game given up. But when you give up a 70 burger, that'll change the numbers slightly.
So, yeah, Homer, question about that.
We need to look at all
because
the games other than the 70 to probably get a better.
Well, that's a part of their story, but yeah, you can carve that out and it's still bad. The question I have, how would you look at this? Because now that we've all kind of come to grips, I think that game against the Raiders changed a lot of mindsets as far as where this team is.
Didn't change mine at all. None. Zero. But it did change yours. That's important.
Okay.
I mean, it only changes
It changed.
us, and Jason did nail you on this. It only changes you if you now say they're not going to make the playoffs.
No,
Now,
I still
if you
think they're
don't-
going to
if
make
you-
the playoffs. But
he called
okay,
the
well, then it hasn't
borderline
really,
now.
then it didn't change you. Yeah, he said borderline.
No.
If you still believe they're going to make the playoffs, that game changed you. None. Right?
It changed. So what it did is it reset the expectation of where this team was for me.
What?
That's what it did.
No. You said they were going
No,
to
it
make
did.
the playoffs before.
No, I still think they are.
Hold on.
I
Hold
still
on. Let me
believe
just
they're going to
make
get a
sure.
lot. They're going to get better. I think they're going to get
Okay,
better.
hold on.
I thought.
Okay, fine. Go ahead. I just want to make sure I have the facts
Well, you
straight.
said hold on.
You
So what's your
said
point?
before
No, this
the
is where
game-
I'd love to have an apple. Give me my apple. When Homer says that, hold on, and then he said, "Go on." Well, what am I holding on for? Tell me what's going on in your
I'm going to let you
mind.
go on, but I want to make sure I have the facts right. Before the last game, you had the Packers making the playoffs. After the last game, you still have them making the playoffs, which says to me you haven't changed much.
Yeah,
No,
but
I
he-
disagree.
he
I mean,
added
obviously,
the
I
word
disagree with myself.
borderline.
No. I still believe, because I have been of the belief all year that it was going to be a process. The offense looked better. Jordan Love looked more in command than I anticipated him being out of the gates. Okay? And that was preseason. I didn't take a ton into the preseason because I understand it's just different. But when you go and play in a regular season game and throw up a 30-plus burger, even though the Bears stink, then you go play a defense that's just as bad in the Raiders, and you stink like that. Yeah, I was upset and I was irritated and thought,
You were
okay,
very upset.
But
Yeah.
now you look at this and say you're playing against one of the all-time worst defenses through 5 weeks we've ever seen.
Yeah.
In the Denver Broncos. If they go out and lay a nothing burger and can't put up 24-plus against this defense, does that then put you guys into question if this thing is regressing or if this thing is actually moving in the right direction? Because to me, if this offense with Aaron Jones and with all of the receivers healthy and Jordan Love off of a bye and Matt LaFleur scheming, if they can't put up 24-plus against this group, then I'm going to probably have to really relook and say maybe this isn't a playoff caliber team.
Yeah, now we're cooking. No, won't change me at all.
Okay.
If
All
they
right,
win,
What will change
if
you?
they win,
So
if
what
they
is
win,
what are we even doing playing then? If nothing will sway
What do
you,
you mean?
like what are we even doing?
No, I listen to you, and you tell me this is going to be up and down. Jason says it's going to be up and down. If I know it's going to be
Yeah.
up and down, then
But if it's
a
all
doesn't
down,
bother
what are we
me.
doing?
No, I don't think it's all down. I will say this:
You're playing the
If
worst
they
defense in the league.
fine. If they lose the game, if they lose to Denver, and I'm down, I'm at 8. If they lose to Denver, I'm dropping to 7 and maybe 6. So it's about winning the game. The greatness, one of the greatnesses great thing to Jordan Love is the ability to play poorly for stretches of the game, yet at the end of the game, make a nice comeback. And I find that as a strength, especially for young players. So I don't care. If they win 17-16, I'm fine.
Okay.
They just have to win.
I disagree.
All right. Wait a minute.
Jason,
Hold on.
Quick question for Jason, then I'm going to bite my apple.
Please
if they only score 17 points against this defense, does that not say this offense isn't where it needs to be?
Does that mean that the Kansas City Chiefs offense isn't where it needs to be? That they won the game 19-8 or whatever they did last week?
I would think they said, "Boy, we stunk and didn't play very well." Yeah.
Travis Kelce had 124 yards.
That game, nothing more than that game.
The Chiefs were 4 of 13 on third down. They had 389 total yards. Their rushing game, 27 attempts for 96 yards in that game. So the Denver defense.
I don't even need to be on.
Well, I'm just saying the Denver defense wasn't terrible against the Chiefs. Now, it's a short week. You can say whatever you want. Now they're coming off of an extended mini bye after playing on Thursday night against the Chiefs. I'm just curious if it's possible that their defense, their numbers are as bad as they are because they had one really, really, really god-awful game, and maybe they're not quite as bad as we're saying they are.
No, they're not. They're not. But if the Packers lose, they will be losing to a team that gave up 70 points in a game. That's all. That will be
and
the line,
and is in the tanking
line
process.
By the way, in that game in which they gave up 70 points, they also gave up 726 total yards of offense.
That's like
you know
6
what?
Iowa-Wisconsin games.
No.
That's what that is.
Or one game with the punter.
No, that's a berry. That's right up there with 363 yards rushing, right?
Yeah, that's also true.
That's a berry, too.
All right, I want to talk a little bit more about Joe Barry with you. Can you stick around for another?
Is the answer on the play? Is that the answer he gave?
What?
With Preston Smith guarding Devontae Adams?
Yeah, there's mechanisms, and I didn't give him one. That was his. And yes, don't let Devontae get inside on you, even if you're a big, burly outside linebacker trying to guard him. More with Uncle Homer.
Best he had?
Yes, that's the best he had.
Okay, all right.
The best of Homer continues next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Stoughton Trailers. Big trailers and big opportunity at Stoughton Trailers. Positions now open in production, operations, finance, sales, engineering, supply chain, and more. To apply today, go to stojobs.com. The first AP poll of the men's college basketball season is out, and the Wisconsin Badgers are the first team off the list. Wisconsin received 53 points, 51 short of spot number 25, which is held by a Big Ten foe in Illinois. Other Big Ten teams on the list include Michigan State at number 4 and Purdue at number 3. Just behind those two is in-state rival Marquette, ranking number 5 to begin the season. Wisconsin tips off their season on November 5th, hosting Arkansas State.
Badger Minutes on ESPN Wisconsin are brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule an appointment online today at PellaWI.com.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it yourself at 2 convenient Madison locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Honda certified technicians handle it all. You can even get flexible payment options. Fix your car now and pay later. Apply online to see your options in seconds with no hard credit check. Make your service appointment online at ZimbrickHonda.com. Zimbrick Honda Service Center on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison. Getting a new computer is both fun and terrifying for many people. Madison Computer Works makes moving to a new computer easy. We help protect it from malware and scammers. We move your data and reinstall programs. Our computer care plan lets our friendly techs assist you remotely once you bring it home. Already bought a new computer? Tried building one from parts you ordered online. You have better things to do with your time than set up or fix your computer. We'll get everything working right. Call the pros at 608-231-8000 and make your computer problems disappear. Madison Computer Works. Computers that work for you.
Madison athletes seeking elite training need to get started today at Total Athlete Performance. TAP is here to serve and educate the serious athlete with speed, agility, and semi-private training options. Sessions are now available in both Windsor and the new TAP facility inside the Verona Athletic Center. Also access remote training plans anytime, anywhere with the Total Athlete Performance app. Visit tapwisconsin.com for sign-up info, including monthly payment options. That's tapwisconsin.com.
Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. Win game day gear by entering to win at Tito'sTailgate.com. Enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove Grill or a Brewmate. For official rules, visit Tito'sTailgate.com. Must be 21 plus to enter.
Whatever you do, make sure you do it right. Whatever you do, make sure you do it right.
All right, continuing with Uncle Homer, and I want to get to Joe Barry and everything else, but I heard something during the commercial break that I didn't realize. Marquette is ranked 5th in the country to start the season in the men's college basketball poll. Homer, you said when you joined us a couple weeks ago that you're going to be calling games for a national championship contender, and I don't disagree, but I didn't realize they were starting the season 5th overall. How exciting is that, and how is it that Shaka and the crew are handling the expectations that come with such a high ranking to start the season?
I don't know. I asked John Anderson last night. I don't know what to do. I've never been calling games with a team that's number 5. Do you get cocky? Do you start the game going, we're going to kick some butt tonight because we're number 5 in the country?
You call the Final Four team? Wait a minute. You call the Final Four team?
Just a second. Even when Dwayne Wade came back preseason, there was no way they were this high. The last time they were this high was the year after they won the national title. So the hope, for example, of Dwayne Wade, that group that I remember, is to make the Final Four. Tyler Kolek says our goal is to win the national championship. Never had that before either. I don't know what to do. Got any suggestions?
Enjoy
let me ask you this, because, Homer, I feel a little hypocrisy is brewing into the Homer tent here.
Uh-oh.
And let me explain what I'm saying. You've always told me you don't care about the expectation, about where someone was ranked or where someone was drafted. It doesn't matter. It just matters what you see on the court. So why are you all freaked out because you're top 5 in the country? Doesn't matter. You said it didn't matter. A.J. Hawk didn't matter. He was the 5th overall pick.
Aaron Rodgers said, I listen well. You don't listen well. The only comment I have ever made about that is about the draft, and I'll repeat it again. The judgment of a player's talent has nothing to do with where they were drafted.
Or a team.
That
judging of a
has to do.
team before they've played. Okay, same exact thing.
I don't know that I've
Continue.
said that before, but I would tend to agree with you.
You have.
Yes.
Jason, he has, correct? Jason?
I only know he's done this with the draft. I don't.
Yeah.
What's the difference? But a team that hasn't played a game together and a player that hasn't played a game together.
Is because I don't know what this is like. Last year, Marquette finished number 6 in the country. No one remembers. Because in the end, only one thing that matters. What's the only thing that matters in NCAA basketball? Though Marquette tried to challenge my theory last year. Only one thing matters. What you do in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
And that's all that will matter this year. This team will be judged totally on what they do in the NCAA tournament because they've already accomplished everything else. They won the conference. They won the conference postseason tournament. Fabulous year and historic for winning both. But as I have said, I'll trade everything for the NCAA tournament. Nothing is close. So this year,
I think that's fair,
assume, yeah. So that's
I think
preseason,
that's fair, but
conference, everything. How do they judge Greg Gard?
Big
How
Ten
he does in the tournament? How many Big Ten titles?
We want Big Ten championships.
I don't think so.
Yeah, right. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
how do we judge Joe
Barry?
I
just don't understand, Jason. I don't understand how you can't bring these two together because Homer has been adamant about this. About how it doesn't matter where someone's ranked.
Yeah, here's why. Because
it's the same thing.
No, it's I don't agree. I think the individual thing, and you have said this yourself. I just think that people remember draft selection much more clearly about a player than they remember preseason draft or ranking. Like, as you've said many times, first-round picks have to repeatedly prove they can't play in the league.
It's a great line.
Picks like you had to repeatedly prove you could.
It is a great line unless you say it was a great line.
Okay.
It was yours. Nice.
So it was. Well, I stole it from somebody else. But okay. So your point is valid. But what did you hear all when the Wisconsin Badgers won the Big Ten in the COVID year? All I heard was we were picked to be 9th in the Big Ten. What? So this whole concept, just say Homer is being hypocritical on this and we'll move on.
Is that what
it's literally the exact same
what
thing.
You were looking for from me?
It's the exact same thing. We have had arguments with Homer for years about expectations. Hold up, Homer. I'll give you the floor. Homer has had this argument for years that it doesn't matter where someone was drafted. The expectations are the same, and I've said bunk. The same thing with teams in preseason rankings.
A.J. Hawk example.
So all I want for Homer to say is, I've been hypocritical on this. Expectations do matter. Homer, will you say that?
No, I won't.
All right, what does Joe Barry have? My point has been well proven.
My question to bring this up is, I have a responsibility as the voice of Marquette to do it well and to represent how you're supposed to do it. I've never had a fifth-ranked team in the country before the season started to know how much you emphasize it. My personal belief is that nothing matters as compared to the NCAA tournament. That's all.
Yeah, I would just say that unfortunately with college basketball, that is very true. No one is going to remember. I agree that, Tausch, the expectations to start the year are high. But I also think it matters where expectations are when you're going into the tournament. So like that Badgers team, which got cheated out of a tournament, right, because of COVID, right?
Well,
Wasn't that the year?
They won
the fictional national championship. But they had raised the expectations from where it was during to start the season. Had there been a full-fledged tournament, the expectations for them would have been much higher after winning the Big Ten. So I'm not sure preseason expectations matter as much. And quite frankly, that's a lot of people that are guessing about teams. I'm not saying they're guessing about Marquette.
No, Marquette has everybody back except Omax Prosper, so that's why.
Okay.
You know what this stands for?
I have no
fine.
idea I don't know
I-
what you're
I wanna
doing.
make
Parallel.
Fine, I'm
It's
a hypocrite
completely
to
parallel.
whatever Tausch said I'm a hypocrite about. Fine. Okay, we can move on.
Okay. What are your expectations for
Thank you,
Joe
Homer.
Barry and how
Homer,
they
I
factor
appreciate
into
you
how
admitting
view
that. Thank you.
By the way, Denver has given up 79 points in the last 3 games combined since the 70 they gave up. So,
That's
is
still
that
24 plus, right?
yeah, a lot less than
Right.
70.
Yeah,
Their
I'm not
defense-
asking Green Bay to put up 70. I'm saying put up 24. That's
they
all.
won 31-28
I
against the
think-
Bears. They lost 31-21 to the Jets, and then they lost 19-8 to the Chiefs. So that is your.
I think it's fair to say the Packers should put up 24, but
Yeah,
I'll take any
that's all I'm
number they
asking
put
for.
up if they win.
Yeah.
There you have it.
So if they put up 24 and lose, you're going to be okay?
I'll feel better about our offense if we can put up 24 against the historically bad
All right.
defense. Yeah.
Okay.
All coming off of a bye with your best players all going to be healthy. Yeah. Yep.
Homer, I could call you a hypocrite all day, but I think it's time to move on.
That's fine.
I'll talk to you later today.
I just don't understand how you guys can't draw that parallel. And I wouldn't say it, but Homer's been so adamant about the A.J. Hawks and about that it doesn't matter. And then he asked the question to start the show. They're ranked high because people have high expectations for them. That does matter. That's all I've brought up. That's it. It does matter. Expectations do matter. Correct?
How
Correct?
they play, hold on, how they play will be the judgment upon what I will base this team. How they play. That's it.
So,
Someone
Homer,
else
quick
can be
question for you,
upset.
though. Okay, fair. Quick question for you before you go. If they were
And that will
unranked,
determine
you would have the
on games
same.
they
You would
play.
still just judge them off that. It wouldn't matter if they had nobody back and they were young and they surprised a bunch of people and finished third. That's not going to change how your approach was. Come on.
Again, it's going to be based on watching them play, not the preseason prediction. They go just like the Wisconsin. They go 24-0.
Yeah,
Your
that'd be fun.
expectation, or based on how they've played, is that. But if they don't do well in the tournament, the 24-0 means nothing. Ask Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Anybody
Yeah,
remember
for
they
sure.
were unbeaten in the tournament? No.
Yeah.
No.
We all
Anybody
do.
remember what they were
That was our
ranked?
national
No.
championship.
Bad example.
We all
No.
do.
Yeah, got screwed.
Don't we, as
will agree
Badger
on
fans? We all remember Kentucky was unbeaten. Do we not?
that.
We do.
Hey, does Kentucky?
Okay, we
Does
do.
Kentucky-
Bo Ryan does.
Does Kentucky?
Frank Kaminsky does. Sam Decker
What?
did. All these guys remember that Kentucky was undefeated when we beat them.
Okay.
Right.
John
And what do you
Calipari
remember about the
does.
season? What do you No, nobody
Duke.
remembers that game about the. What do you remember about the season? Dog, come on. Give me a
Every
break.
ba-
What do you
okay.
remember about that season?
Every Badger
You
fan
remember
remembers
one thing
that game.
about that season. It wouldn't have mattered if
I
Kentucky had
remember-
lost 30 games into that.
Oh,
game.
I remember
well,
having a
there's
hell of a
no
night at the
memory.
Omni
All right.
Hotel
Break it
after
down.
All right.
after we beat
All right.
Kentucky.
You
I
got
remember that.
screwed by the officials in the second half against Duke. That's all you remember,
It's true. But I
Yes.
well, I remember both. One positive
No,
and
right.
one negative.
All right.
Yes.
If
Fine.
Kentucky had been 30-1, I think it
That'd
would
make
be
a
a
damn
better
difference.
example. The undefeated part skews this. They would have had a great, unbelievable regular season, and no one would have given a hoot because they lost to the Badgers in the
not what
Final
happened, though.
Four.
Yeah, I agree. But that's not what happened.
I understand. It was I'm just trying to. I quit.
Just get to
What are you trying to do, Jason?
Just trying to help. I'll talk to Homer later today on the Homer Hour. The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins next in 2 minutes. Stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Haul away big savings this weekend at Fleet Farm's Truckload Savings Event. Like 40-pound bags of superior hardwood fuel pellets, 2 for $11. Morton Clean and Protect water softener pellets are only $5.89 a bag. Save on 40 pounds of black oil sunflower seed, just $18.99. And get a free $15 Fleet Farm gift card with select Science Diet pet food. Stock up on everything you need for everyday life at Fleet Farm.
The host might be irrelevant, but the conversations aren't.
The type of fashion that you have looks like you ran through a thrift store in 30 seconds and just put together an outfit.
I like to think of myself as a little bit more of a peacock, you know what I mean?
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe.
We all know you're very famous for your Sunday Night Football intro, right? Brian Bulaga, hour.
I never thought I was saying it weird to begin with, but then when I watched myself back, especially when it first happened, I was like, man.
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe. Available wherever you get your podcasts.
Zimbrick Chevrolet.
When was the last time you had your oil changed or your tires rotated? Do you need new tires, a battery, perhaps some windshield wipers? Zimbrick Chevrolet Service Center is equipped to help you with routine maintenance, major repairs, and everything in between. Get your free battery inspection coupon and schedule an appointment today at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Don't overpay. Shop Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie.
Main Street, Sun Prairie. Zimbrick Chevrolet.
Today on ESPN Radio. After storming into Houston and winning games 1 and 2, the Rangers return home looking to take a commanding 3-0 lead. Coverage begins today at 7:30 Eastern, with first pitch at 8 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Hey, this is former Badger Brad Norton.
It's a fake. Great call and great execution.
You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Sports Center updates on 100.5 ESPN are brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison. Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or visit metrokiaofmadison.com.
I may regret this, but the argument about expectations, you're kind of hedging your own expectations about the Packers, because you said declaratively after they beat the Bears that they were making the playoffs, and then today you called them a borderline playoff team. So are you in or are you out?
Yeah, no, I'm in.
But you're hedging?
Facts. No, I'm not hedging. I think they're a playoff. I think they're a borderline playoff team. I think right now they're on the right side of the border. Doesn't mean that won't change.
If this was me, would you accuse me of hedging?
No.
Jesse,
you didn't say they're going to be star-spangled awesome. I have said from the jump, ups and downs, ride the wave. I think they're going to be better in a bad conference. Now, I'll say this. The conference is better, top-heavy, but we thought it was going to be top-heavy. We all thought 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, that slot was going to be up for grabs.
Would you
now,
acknowledge Would you acknowledge that you've ridden the wave a little bit?
Yeah, I'm a fan, so I do. Right?
I understand, but you're also an analyst, and you're also, unlike most, like 99.9% of the population. Unlike them, you've played in the NFL. You played 11 years. You know the ups and downs.
I do.
Despite your fan basis now, I guess I expected of you, having seen the waves and known better than to ride them, I've been a little surprised with the amount of ride wave. You're like Keanu Reeves in Point Break. You're riding the waves.
Yeah,
you're learning how to surf.
Well, Jason, this job, you have to be in it. You have to see what's going on. I still project, and my projection still is this team's going to get better. I envisioned Atlanta. I thought that would happen. I thought New Orleans could be a tough one. Detroit, didn't think we'd beat Detroit. Didn't think we'd get mauled like we did, but we did. And I wasn't shocked by that. Now, when you play bad football teams, you can't be as bad as they are. And if you are, I'm surprised and I'm upset by it. Mm-hmm. That's all that was. You're playing another bad football team on Sunday. So the expectation is if you're going to – I'm not one of these guys that I make my prediction and then it's, I am going to root for that. I will say what I see. And I see an offense that is lost. That's where we're at. But now you're getting Aaron Jones back. I expect more. And if you don't get that, you can be disappointed. And as an analyst, you can say, why are you disappointed? That's all I'm doing.
Well, this
Ride
leads.
waves? Yeah, a little bit, sure.
You're very wavy. This is why I bring it up, because I thought Rob Domofsky, our buddy, who joins us every Friday, joins all of our shows once a week, in his power rankings blurb, which I get to read on the radio, Packers are 20th in the power rankings this week, as we established yesterday. But the topic that all 32 beat writers were asked to answer was, what lesson has been learned through 6 weeks of the season for your team? Rob's is, Jordan Love needs more time. Love threw 7 touchdowns and just 1 interception in his first 3 games, and with a 2-1 record, it looked like the transition period from Aaron Rodgers would be minimal. Then reality hit in games 4 and 5, the reality that Love is still inexperienced and is surrounded by even less experience as he threw 5 interceptions to 1 touchdown combined in those 2 games. His most veteran playmaker, running back Aaron Jones, has missed more snaps than he has taken so far this season, and Love doesn't have anyone else he can consistently rely on yet. Fair. Very fair. Everything from Rob is fair there.
Absolutely. I think it's very fair analysis. Yep.
But I think what he writes there underscores what a lot of folks did, and that was they were on the crest of the wave after the first 7 quarters and were forgiving him for an 0-for-6 fourth quarter in Atlanta when they needed a field goal to go win the game. And then very excited about his comeback after 3 not very good quarters.
For sure.
Against the Saints because they rallied to win. What I'm fascinated by is I'm the guy saying, hey, they could be 4-1 if they had Aaron Jones all season. But if we look on the other side of that coin, the Saints kick a very makeable field goal, and they probably don't have that win on their resume either. And now you're looking at a team that's 1-4, and people are really like, oh, my God, is Jordan Love going to be any good at all, right? I mean, that rally falls short, and we can try for the moral victory of, well, he got them in position to win the game, but they lost. So that's why I agree with you about this. I think this game, for his development and for how this team feels about itself, you played. You lose going into the bye. That does not leave a very good taste in your mouth throughout your bye week.
No.
If you then turn around and lose coming out of the bye, that ain't real great either, right? Is
Correct.
this, I don't want to make more out of the 6th game of the season than I should, but against a demonstratively not very good / bad team, if you lose this game, there's going to be a lot of questions about whether the hell you know what you're doing, right? Like this would be
sure,
really bad to lose.
So the argument I got into was, but you had the same thing after last game. I don't think Denver is that much worse than the Raiders. I think their defense is probably worse.
Right, but I'm saying
offensively,
right, to do it now twice would really, like, you could, if you play poorly against the Raiders and then you bounce back and play against these guys well and you win, then you could say, well, that was just a meh. It was a one-off. If you lose going into the bye against a bad team and then you lose coming out of the bye against another bad team, I think that's going to freak some people out. That's what I'm saying.
Well, the good thing is, and in this season, people are going to ride the wave because it's choppy. And you can lose to Denver, and I think everybody will be incredibly disappointed if that happens. But then you'll get what? The Vikings come to town? And if you could beat a division team, even though they're, struggling too, there's a lot of teams on this Packers schedule that are not very good.
It's true. No doubt.
That's why I have them in the playoffs. That's why I have them as a borderline playoff team, is because you have a schedule where there's a lot of teams that just aren't very good. But I'm not going to play the same game. I'm not going to be if they go out to Denver and lose, I will critique. and I will say what's wrong with this offense, but I am not going to have the same emotions as I was after that Monday night game because I felt if you don't have 3 picks, that's not the stuff that Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love. You can't do that. It's one thing if you just struggle, but you can't do what they did. That is regression. That's not growing pains. That's why we got into that argument. And if they go down and Denver beats them 27-24, it's going to be Joe Barry, he needs to be fired, all that. That's standard protocol with this team. That's what we've always done.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a 17-10 and we get beat, now all of a sudden, because so much of this season rests on what Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur can figure out and moving forward, that's why it would be a bigger deal. That's why I look at that 24 number as what this team needs. Even if they get beat, I'll be disappointed, but at least you could say, well, you're seeing positive things. Aaron Jones, this offense, that is more important now than the fact that you win or lose a football game, in my opinion, which sounds crazy to say.
All right, so we need to shift gears because you have been waiting for it. Not so patiently. The triumphant return of Spooky or Fluky. After Tausch tells us about Prize Picks and his spooky picks that have been pretty successful of late, from what I understand.
Yeah, I've been having a good run on Prize Picks. I've been dabbling a little bit Major League Baseball. Today, we have Max Scherzer, 4.5 strikeouts. I think I'm going to go more on that. You guys can join in the fun as well. Prize Picks Daily Fantasy Sports made easy. Not going against other people. I'm only going against Prize Picks' projections that are available, and it's pretty simple. 2 to 6 players. I have been sticking with 3, and I've been having success. I might get frisky. I might get a little frisky. I love the idea of being able to win 25x on my cash on these entries. So Prize Picks offers projections. They don't know. Euro basketball. I might dabble in that. Disc golf, tennis, NASCAR, everything you could possibly want. Entries can be.
Cricket.
What's that?
Cricket.
Yeah.
Cricket.
Pickleball. What's pickleball gets on here? Oh, baby. I got a feeling great things will be happening for OT. Entries can be made in 60 seconds or less. You have safe and fast withdrawals, and it's simple. Download the Prize Picks app or go to prizepicks.com. You put 100 in, Prize Picks matches. Just use the promo code WI to get that match. Again, prizepicks.com or download the Prize Picks app.
What would the mores or lesses be if they did pickleball? Like,
I'm guessing it would be
serving
points.
Percentage in the kitchen?
No, I think it would be points. No, it would be points. So I'm guessing like one of the big stars in pickleball, I think his name is Johns. I don't know his first name, but the Johns boys are big.
Johns?
You play to 11, and I'm guessing it would be you'd set it at points given up by the Johns boys. 6?
Robinson
more or
Johns?
less. I'm guessing. I don't think they've probably figured out that formula, so that's what I would guess that they'd be doing.
All right, I'm also curious about the disc golf, but we'll get to that another day. All right, we need to get to Spooky or Fluky. I feel like this has been built up. The expectations are high.
Expectations don't matter. I was told by you and Homer they don't matter. So
no, don't loop me into that. That's not my
You
that's my
agreed.
statement.
I gave you every
You
out
wanted
to
me
say
to call
yes.
him a hypocrite on the radio
Because
and I
he was
refused.
being hypocritical. I should have said his actions are being hypocritical. So that's what I'm sticking with. Would
More
you
Kevin
agree
and
now?
Brad. More Kevin and Brad. Straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Grassland Dairy is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin and sustained by innovation. Since 1904, the Wietrich family has worked with hundreds of dairy farmers to consistently produce the highest quality dairy products. Grassland's commitment to quality starts with the way their dairy farmers care for their cows and carries through every step of their innovative processing and delivery. They are proud to offer a wide range of reliable and nutritious dairy ingredients. Grassland Dairy is family owned in Wisconsin and has been crafting butter for 5 generations.
Ruggability. We straight made that word up. How else to describe the otherwise indescribable rugged, capable, incredible versatility and affordability of a Honda SUV? Car and Driver calls Honda the winningest brand in 10 Best history. Your kids will call it totally lit. But we like ruggability, and you'll like the Incredifantabulous deals, so see your Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer today. Honda gets Wisconsin.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison.
Take it to the house this season and enjoy tailgating from your own backyard. Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. You can win game day gear for your next gathering by entering to win at Tito'sTailgate.com. Be sure to enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove Grill, a Brewmate back tap for batch cocktails, or a Tito's football jersey. For official rules, visit Tito'sTailgate.com. Must be 21 years old to enter. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
My eye doctor gives me a lot of great advice, but the best piece of advice she ever gave me was where to go for LASIK. TLC Laser Eye Centers. Did you know that TLC has performed over 2.3 million LASIK procedures nationally, including treatment for over 10,000 doctors? Doctors recommend TLC because that's who they trust with their eyes. So book your free consultation now at TLC Laser Eye Centers. The doctor's choice for LASIK.
Right now, TLC is offering $1,000 off their Wavelight laser when treated in October. That's $500 off per eye. So call 888-TLC-2020 or visit SaveOnTLC.com. That's SaveOnTLC.com. The doctor's choice for LASIK. Must mention this promotion and be treated in October of 2023 to qualify. $1,000 off for both eyes on standard Wavelight price. $500 off for one eye. Cannot be combined with any other offers. See details at SaveOnTLC.com.
It's spooky, it's scary, but don't be frightened. It's the Graveyard Grabs promotion at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison on Saturday, October 28th from 5 to 9 p.m. 27 winners will be selected to enter our graveyard filled with piles of rewards play and cash prizes. 3 winners every half hour will select 3 scary prize pieces, and each will keep the total amount of their own selections. Each winner has a chance to walk away with a total of $3,000 in cash. It's a frighteningly good time at
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
All right, expectations, they do matter.
Oh, do they?
They do.
Okay, good. I'm glad we're all on the same page.
They do. But no one's going to remember. I mean, we are because we made such a big deal out of it. But most people in the college basketball realm, if Marquette is a disappointment this year and has a rough year, no one's going to remember what they were ranked preseason. They're also going, but they are going to remember if they like win the conference, win the Big East, and then lose in the first round of the NCAA tournament. People are going to remember that.
Jason,
That's all they're going to remember.
Agree. But do you know, like when you go to high school games or college games and you beat a team that's ranked higher, you know what they always say?
Overrated!
So it's a little bit, I'm not going to say hypocritical.
Yes, you were.
People do care. No, it matters. That's why they do it. That's why there are rankings. That's why people do it. Does it matter in the grand scheme? Just like being a 7th-round pick compared to a 1st-round pick, there is a difference.
Matter.
It just
yeah.
is.
Mm-hmm.
Why you guys try to run from that? I don't fully comprehend.
I was just trying to say that Spooky or Fluky has developed expectations for this year because we've been waiting for it for so long.
I'm excited for it.
And I feel like it's probably not going to meet our expectations. Time now for Spooky or Fluky.
Oh, welcome into Spooky or Fluky.
Oh, my God. All right, for those of you that are not watching...
Is that Dunzo under there? Or who is that with the pumpkin?
Dunzo dressed as Ichabod Crane, I believe.
That's
why
Louis
Dunzo
the
only have
Jack-O-Lantern.
one arm?
That's Louis the Jack-O-Lantern from Target. Stopping by. He's all the craze these days. And he's our host of Spooky or Fluky. I will ask you if the following NFL teams are spooky with a chance to win the Super Bowl. Or are they fluky and don't have a chance to win? First up, Mike McCarthy.
Very, very, very frustrating.
And the Dallas Cowboys. Tausch, are they spooky or fluky?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's fluky. They're fluky.
Oh, no.
They can't play with the big boys. Their offense isn't good enough. That's just the deal. I think their defense is good, and I think they can hang. But what we saw the other night, the conservative play calling, and I don't know where they're going to get a bunch of big plays. The only big play that they were able to get was on a broken-down play, dump off to Pollard. I think when they play the big boys, and I'm putting Detroit ahead of Dallas now on my tier list, I think this is a fluky operation that will make the playoffs and then gently flutter away.
I'm distracted by the Pumpkinhead guy, quite frankly, and I wanted to tweet him out so everybody could see him. What's his name again? Jack
Lewis.
Period Lantern?
Lewis.
I
am not a jack-o'-lantern. My name is
I've heard
Lewis.
him as Brad. I thought that was Brad.
I am Brad, the jack-o'-lantern.
Of course. I do think Mike's team is fluky, unfortunately. I don't know if I don't know what my expectations are supposed to be of Dak. Quite frankly, I'm curious what Jerry Jones's expectations are of Dak, because he jumped on
or
Brad, because them getting Trey Lance makes me wonder what they exactly have in mind for the future. So.
God, it's going to be interesting. Bill Belichick coaching the Dallas Cowboys next year.
And Mondays with Mike McCarthy every Monday on Wilde and Tausch.
We'll have fun with Mike.
We'll be grumpy.
Next
up in Spooky or Fluky, another 4-2 football team, the Buffalo Bills. Spooky or fluky?
Spooky. They are spooky because you don't know what you're going to get. There you go. Yeah, I think that the Buffalo Bills, they can lose to just about anybody, but their ceiling is high enough that they can beat anybody. You saw them struggle against the New York Giants. Josh Allen is very Favrean. He is the closest thing to Brett Favre we've seen in a long time. He's a better runner than Brett ever was. But as far as just the mindset and how they play, I think he is the next. Josh Allen has a lot of Favrean in him.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, you can be very spooky. But the unfortunate part, you're spooky to both your team and to the opponent.
They definitely have shortcomings, having watched them the other night. I like Josh Allen. I do. I was a little disappointed in the Sunday Night Crew that they didn't point out, and this was stupid of him, but I can't believe they didn't point out that when that fight was going on, he went right in and went and defended his offensive lineman. Usually, Tausch, having been an offensive lineman, you're defending your quarterback. I liked what I saw. I mean, he went after the guy. Now, should he have led with his throwing shoulder when he went to whack the guy? No, he should not have. But I do like the mentality behind it. And if Jordan Love did it, I would say the same thing. And then I would say, hey, man, you got to be more careful with your shoulder. You should at least hit him with your off shoulder.
Don't throw punches into helmets, especially as a quarterback.
Very good advice as well. Next.
You didn't say spooky or
No, I
fluky.
thought I said spooky at the beginning. I'm sorry, spooky.
You
spooky.
did.
All right,
Thanks
spooky.
for playing by the rules of the game.
Yeah.
Next up, the Cincinnati Bengals, 3-3 in last place in the AFC North. Spooky or fluky? Tausch?
Spooky. Spooky. It was always going to say, could you get Joe Burrow healthy? Seems as if they got their bye now, I think, so he gets another week, and they've weathered the storm. At 1-3, everybody was writing them off, and Cincinnati's offense was just bad. But they found a way. I think they're going to get better and better, and I don't think anybody wants to play Joe Burrow in the playoffs because he's proven to be pretty doggone good when he gets to the playoffs. So I would say this team would be very, very spooky for AFC teams.
So I'm going to break the rules with Peter Pumpkinhead there. I'm going to kick the can down the road a little bit on the Bengals because they've won 2 in a row. They do have their bye, but do you know what their next 2 games are to decide whether they're spooky or fluky? At San Francisco and home against the Bills. After those 2 games, we will know whether they are rounding back.
What if they go 1-1? All right, they go 1-1 versus that. Does that change anything about what you think?
It does. It does. If they lose both, then I can say they're totally fluky.
But I didn't say they lost both. I said they were 1-1.
Yeah, one's on the road, one's at home. If they go 1-1 out of those 2, if they go 1-1 out of those 2,
doesn't change anything.
No, they're spooky if they go 1-1 in those 2. For me.
Okay.
Next.
All right. Fair enough.
Last one. The Detroit Lions, 5-1. Spooky for a chance to win the Super Bowl, or fluky? Tausch?
Yeah. No, they're spooky. They're a spooky operation. I think anytime someone's willing to bite your kneecaps, I think you got to at least put them in the spooky category.
You gotta watch out for that.
With their schedule in a division that I think they're going to probably run away with, they get that 1 seed, the most important seed in the history of football.
Except for that one.
I think you could make a really good argument that they'll be a Super Bowl team if they can get the 1 seed. If they don't get the 1 seed, they will not be going to a Super Bowl. The only team that gets San Fran and Philly, San Fran and Philly can get there without being the 1 seed. Nobody else in the NFC can. There you go.
That's it for spooky or fluky.
Spook it.
Put that in your trick-or-treat bag. That's it for spooky or fluky. That lived up to expectations. I was pleased with that.
That was good. Good. Gives you a good indicator of where we're at. Although, if they win 1, then I don't know. Your Cincy Bengals kind of lame on the spooky or fluky, if I may. Kind of a lame answer.
You may not, actually. Totally
I can't?
unnecessary.
Well, then I rescind. Okay, I'll rescind my initial spooky or fluky criticism.
You can say whatever you want about Whoa Nelly, though, and that's next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for my friends at Kohler Services. Have you been thinking of updating your bath or shower? Well, Kohler Services is a local end-to-end bath and shower design and remodel service brought to you by Kohler, a family-owned business in Wisconsin for 150 years. Kohler is the only manufacturer offering fast, professional installation and care for life. Start enjoying your bath or shower right now with a special offer. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote and tell them that I sent you. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Eat Doritos, just don't eat it in bed.
Why?
Are you
snacking in bed,
You're
CC?
snacking in bed?
No, I'm not a snack in bed guy, but I'm not above it. I'm not above it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Kind of above it.
Sometimes it's a comfort food.
You're only snacking into bed in my world if you're in a hotel.
Yeah, because it's not yours.
Because then someone's cleaning it up the next day.
Oh, so you just don't care about others. Got it, small. Okay.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekdays from 5 to 9 on 100.5 ESPN.
Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse isn't just a barbecue restaurant. Fish fry, walleye, and vegetarian options are available, and they have a menu that's sure to please everyone. Liberty Station smokes their meats daily with a 1,000-gallon custom smoker, giving you the freshest experience possible. Enjoy happy hour with daily discounts on both food and drinks at their large bar with 20 draft taps and multiple TVs to watch the big game. Be sure to check out their sprawling patio with an indoor and outdoor porch area too. Liberty Station off the Beltline on Rimrock Road.
Prairie Athletic Club will meet all of your family fitness needs this fall, and it's all under one roof. Registration is now open for dozens of youth programs to keep the kids busy, all while you're getting fit too. Hurry now, the Pack is offering their best membership specials for the remainder of the year. Stop by Prairie Athletic Club today, or visit prairieathletic.com to check out the youth programs and membership specials. That's prairieathletic.com. Prairie Athletic Club, family, fun, community.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
It's Chevy truck season, and with a Chevy Silverado, there's no such thing as an uphill battle. With a Chevy Silverado, you can take on the mountains, or you can move them. Because with impressive towing capability, an available 13.4-inch diagonal touchscreen, and the choice of powerful engines to pick from, whatever your mountain, there's a Silverado with the capability you need. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
All right, Team Pella, listen up.
Thanks, John Kuhn. Customers love our products with limited lifetime warranties. Check out these big plays. Incredible innovations like blinds and shades between the glass.
No interference on that play, Coach.
And stylish windows with hidden screens that make game days a breeze.
Can it get any better?
It can. With monthly payments as low as $19 per window, $75 per patio door, and a free quote at PellaWI.com.
Let's go.
6.99 APR for 120 months. Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offers on 10/31/2023.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable power and peace of mind, propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power to your home. So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at WIPGA.org. This message is sponsored by your local propane provider and the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council.
Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. Win game day gear by entering to win at Tito'sTailgate.com. Enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove Grill or a Brewmate. For official rules, visit Tito'sTailgate.com. Must be 21 plus to enter.
I got the magic in me. Every time I touch that track, it turns into gold. Everybody knows I got the magic in me. When I hit the floor, the girls come snapping at me. Now everybody wants a blast of magic.
Magic. Speaking of magic, it's that magical time in the show. Time now for Whoa Nelly.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocca's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell has received a 3-year contract extension through March of 2027. Tausch, I saw you tweeted about this news. What did you think when you first saw that Roger Goodell was extended?
Yeah, I didn't like it. I think I understand why the owners wanted him to stay in place, but if you remember, Jerry Jones tried to oust him. You had all that controversy with everything going on. I want to say in like 2020 or I don't remember the last time he signed his extension, but he said that this was going to be it. That was the end of his deal. was going to be the end of it, and he wanted to get through the next CBA and the next TV. Well, that's done. And now, because he's making 78, and I don't blame Roger Goodell a bit. 70, 80 million bucks a year. You got probably the cushiest, best job on earth. I get it, but I think if you're going to promote and push for, different things, all this stuff, I think he should have stepped away, taken an emeritus role. Troy Vincent is sitting there. I'd love to have seen Troy Vincent get an opportunity to take over. That ain't going to happen. So now we look at it and say, all right, Roger Goodell, I don't blame him one bit, but I would have loved to have seen, as the NFLPA changed its leadership, I wouldn't have minded seeing the NFL change it as well, but that's not going to be the case. What did you shake when I said Troy Vincent? I'd love get a player in there. It'd be fun. Maybe there'd be some. Maybe we wouldn't have turf. Maybe we'd have grass if you get Troy Vincent in there, huh?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting you to recommend him for the job. That was not what I was
Troy
anticipating.
Vincent's number 2. He's their number 2.
How about Mark Murphy as the new commissioner? Whoa, Nelly.
Whoa, Nelly! Just wait. You have no opinion on Roger Goodell continuing on after he had made statements. Obviously, you could change your mind.
I would say this.
No
I don't think with this news it indicates to me that the owners do not see, whether it's Troy Vincent or someone else, as a clear-cut heir apparent, and they want to keep the status quo and keep making buckets full of money and want to start looking for a different replacement for his next after this tenure. That's how I took this news. But you're right. He's making them a lot of money. That's the biggest thing. Next.
Whoa, Nelly! From one commissioner to another, Adam Silver, appearing on First Take on ESPN today, says the NBA is mulling going back to the East versus West format for this year's All-Star game in Indianapolis, as opposed to the draft, which the star players have led, televised the last several years. Giannis at the forefront of it against LeBron in many cases. What would you think, Tausch, if they go back to the East versus West, or a more traditional format as opposed to the drafting your team schoolyard pick'em version of what they've done the last couple of years?
I don't like it. The draft part of it's great. I think you go U.S. versus world. I think that's what you do. You got Giannis and Luka Doncic and our boy Joker out there in Denver. I would love to see that. I think there'd be a little more competitive juice if you do USA versus the world. I'm on board with that. I'm not interested. East-West, these guys switch conferences left and right. Nah, I'm out. That's boring.
I think you should have the Manning brothers each be a captain.
Peyton versus Eli?
Yeah. No.
Jersey colors reflect the Colts and the Giants. It's not... Could be worse.
Look, I am a traditionalist. I don't think that All-Star game is problematic. I don't have a problem with the East versus the West. I'm not a huge fan of picking teams because NBA players seem to have drama more than anyone. Like, they didn't pick James Harden, and
Hey, Jason, you understand that there are some people that say, you can take a bite out of your apple right now, some people say that Giannis drafting Dalla Dame in last year's NBA draft has led to him becoming a Milwaukee Buck. That's awesome. That's what you're looking for when you're a TV network. You want that drama. So, yes, keep it. What are we doing here?
You just said, wait a minute. I thought you said you wanted it to be the U.S. versus the world.
I do. If they're going to change because you don't put Jason, you don't put this.
What do you?
No. I said East versus West is stupid. No. I didn't say. It said East versus West. What Jesse asked was, do you want it to go back to East versus West? I said, that's stupid and lame. The draft I thought was fine, but there's obviously he's throwing a trial balloon out to say they're not doing that anymore. I don't like that they're not doing it, but they're going to change it. I have to come up with a different answer. I can't just say don't do that and not have something in line.
Well, no, you could say stay with the draft because it got Dalla Dame to Milwaukee, right?
I love the draft, but they're going to change it. That's why he's out on first take. Why else would he be doing it? I guarantee you Stephen A. Smith did not ask him about the NBA All-Star Game unless prompted to, because he's throwing a trial balloon out there to let people know this is
totally
happening.
agree with you on that. There's no
You know
doubt
the
about
media game. This is
I
how
know
it
the
works.
media
Come on.
game. I play the game. I play
Whoa,
it.
Nelly.
Oh, my God.
Last one. Today is National Chocolate Cupcake Day. Fill in the blank. I would rather have a chocolate cupcake for dessert than blank.
A can, you know those old cans of like mixed fruit, the cocktail fruit.
Oh,
I'd much rather
yuck.
have that than. Yeah, I'd rather have it than that.
I don't like chocolate cake. I don't like it in a muffin. I don't
It's gotta
like it
be
in
moist.
a cupcake.
It's got to be
Nope.
moist if you do it.
Not a fan. Not a fan at all.
Is the cupcake the weakest dessert?
No, a good cupcake. I enjoy a good cupcake. I don't like chocolate enough. You give me a vanilla one or like an apple streusel or whatever, I'm in. Just not chocolate. I don't like chocolate ice cream either.
You're crazy.
Too chocolatey.
No, chocolate ice cream is third. In the power rankings of ice cream, you got the Neapolitan. Chocolate's a distant third.
Wait a minute. Chocolate is one of the three.
No, I know. But if you would go and you go back in the old days, my mom would buy the Neapolitan ice cream, and you'd have it in layers. Vanilla on one strip, chocolate in the middle, and then strawberry on the side. Chocolate would always be left because we love, but you could go, I'm going to just eat the strawberry. It was intended to eat all three at once, but what happened is you'd layer it off.
No, you can't do this. You can't say that a flavor of ice cream that has three flavors in one is the best flavor. That you're gaming the system.
I didn't say that. I said the
You're
vanilla of the
ranking it?
Neapolitan is top. Yes, I am ranking.
Oh, are you ranking
chocolate
the three
is third in the
Neapolitan
Neapolitan range?
Okay, all right. The way
don't you understand
the
about
way
that?
you presented it, you made it sound as if Neapolitan was number one in your power rankings of ice cream.
No,
That's
God,
no. That's
Which
what you
seemed
said.
like a
vanilla
cop-out.
within. No. Play the tape back. The vanilla within the Neapolitan was 1. Strawberries 2. Chocolat was 3. That was my point on the Neapolitan scale.
That's also wrong, but whatever.
All right. I could argue about this all day. Mint chocolate chip and cookies and cream much higher than all of these.
Chocolate chip cookie dough is really good. Mint chocolate
also,
chip.
I
That's
know you're
below
not a
chocolate,
mint guy.
in my
We
book.
know that. Yes. Okay. All right.
Well, not
we're
everybody
gonna
listens every day.
Whoa, Nelly!
Brad and I are going to wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Mark Tauscher here for Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust. As the football season rolls on, the days are getting shorter, and you know what that means. Whether you want to hear it or not, winter is creeping up just around the corner. So here's the thing. You can choose to ignore that brutal Wisconsin winter is quickly approaching, or you can do the smart thing and think about getting your vehicle prepared now so you don't have any issues when that slippery snow first falls. I recommend stopping in to see the amazing service team at Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie. Get a tune-up, check the battery, check your tires. That's a big one for the winter. Change the oil, and make sure all the inner workings of your vehicle are in tip-top shape. You can take my word for it. From summer road trips all around the state to driving to work in the tumultuous Wisconsin winter, Zimbrick Chevrolet is truly the name you can trust. Schedule a service appointment, view vehicle inventory, and learn more about all they have to offer at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. That's ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
This Badger Minute brought to you by the Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's home for craft beer and pub food since 1994. Find the Great Dane nearest you at GreatDanePub.com. The first AP poll of the men's college basketball season is out, and the Wisconsin Badgers are the first team off the list. Wisconsin received 53 points, 51 short of spot number 25, which is held by a Big Ten foe in Illinois. Other Big Ten teams on the list include Michigan State at number 4 and Purdue at number 3. Just behind those two is in-state rival Marquette, ranking number 5 to begin the season. Wisconsin tips off their season on November 5th, hosting Arkansas State.
Badger Minutes on ESPN Wisconsin are brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule an appointment online today at PellaWI.com.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Grassland Dairy is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin and sustained by innovation. Since 1904, the Wheatrick family has worked with hundreds of dairy farmers to consistently produce the highest quality dairy products. Grassland's commitment to quality starts with the way their dairy farmers care for their cows and carries through every step of their innovative processing and delivery. They are proud to offer a wide range of reliable and nutritious dairy ingredients. Grassland Dairy is family owned in Wisconsin and has been crafting butter for 5 generations.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. I joined the Princeton Club because I was looking for a place I could invest in my health, and the environment and the community I have felt has made it so easy for me to incorporate it into my everyday life. It doesn't matter where you're at in your fitness journey because they have something to offer everyone. It also goes beyond fitness. From the moment you walk in the club to the moment you walk out, there is a togetherness felt throughout the members and staff that keeps you going for your better tomorrow. Don't wait any longer and get started on your fitness journey today at PrincetonClub.net. That's PrincetonClub.net.
The host might be irrelevant, but the conversations aren't.
I don't think you're walking back to the locker room being like, yeah, that was a great way to lose, right? Like, that can't exist, right?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't exist.
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe. Available wherever you get your podcasts.
Do something I hate to do. I have to apologize to Tausch again. In front of me, I have, according to Parade Magazine, the top 20 ice cream flavors as voted by the American people.
Vote with your wallet.
Number 20, Black Raspberry Chip, which I didn't even know existed. So maybe this is a sketchy list.
That sounds great.
19, Maple. 18, chocolate peanut butter.
That's number 1.
Should be higher.
17,
should be higher.
Cherry vanilla. 16, French vanilla. 15, butterscotch. 14, salted caramel. 13, cake batter. 12, Neapolitan.
12.
12.
You guys,
but
you don't understand. Go back and listen.
I understand now. I do. I understand now. Out of the
what
3 that are in Neapolitan, chocolate is third. Yeah,
I wasn't voting Neapolitan as a top 10 ice cream.
Number 11, pistachio. Number 10, chocolate chip. Number 9, coffee. Number 8, Rocky Road. Number 7, cookies and cream. Number 6, chocolate chip cookie dough. Number 5, butter pecan.
No.
Number 4, mint chocolate chip.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
And then the top 3, strawberry 3, vanilla 2, chocolate 1. And those are the 3 that are in Neapolitan.
Yeah, why wouldn't you just get Neapolitan and put it at 1?
What are we doing here?
Well, I think
Neapolitan's
the
just
fact
a
that
cheat
vanilla,
code for ice cream.
The vanilla is not one. You think about everything that's made with vanilla ice cream, it's dumbfounding to me.
Yeah, chocolate's better.
I'm irritated.
Why do you think vanilla is like a synonym for boring in other conversations? Oh, that's so vanilla.
They ran their vanilla defense. Yeah, it's true.
Yep. You want that ice cream with that reputation? That's number one on your big board of ice cream. That's crazy.
Well, no, he said chocolate chip
It's
cookie
the most
dough.
versatile.
It's the
most versatile. It is.
And by the way, chocolate chip cookie dough, you know what the ice cream basis is? Vanilla. All right, that's it for us today.
Hey, we got a new nickname, though. Jesse is now going to be, moving forward, he is going to be Kit Kat. His new nickname, we will say, Wilde and Tausch, produced by Kit Kat. No, not
Why?
Kitty Cat. Kit Kat.
Why?
He always needs a break. Because he just always needs a break.
Oh, my God. That's actually really good.
So we got Big Cat on the
Thanks.
board in Milwaukee and Kit Kat on the board in Madison during
There we
Wilde and
go.
Tausch. That's what you're going for.
All right, that's it for us today, Kit Kat.
That's creepy.
That's Jane Seymour in.
No, I understand. And you saying it like Jane Seymour is super creepy.
Whoa, Nelly! Better than you watching that show with Max. That's it for us today. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are